Okay, can you believe it? It's week 4. We have 2 more weeks. Isn't it amazing?
Yes, I think both of them are in May, right?
No, no, one's in, I don't know. No,
I think they're May.
huh? What? That's a good question. We're gonna just a minute. I'll keep myself here. All right, I'm gonna stop recording. No, I'll keep recording. I just frazzled myself. Okay. I thought, see, I've got another class that we did the same thing. We took a week off. So now both of you are like, which one am I talking?
I know. Because I know we took Friday, I know we took that Holy Saturday off, but I'm not sure if we have the next Saturday and then that one in May.
Okay, the 26th, we have the 12th today,
Yeah,
and we have the 26th of April.
okay,
And then we're going to shift to Sunday on
Sunday,
the 4th.
okay,
Now, the class that I'm teaching is in a local art gallery, and I have one sign up. So if I need to have at least 4 to do the class. So I don't know. I don't want to say, we could keep it on Sunday. If there might be a shift, we could do it on Saturday. So my brain's kind of up in this fuzzy zone. So right now it's on Sunday the 4th.
okay. Sunday's
And
fine with me.
that's Michelle's not sure, so we'll work with that.
Mhm.
You get to be special.
Mhm.
You all are
There's
special to
Nancy.
me. Good morning, Nancy.
She's got to turn her speaker, her mic on.
Meetings are being. Am I?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Long time.
Mhm.
It feels like forever, doesn't it? So
It does.
we're gonna have to reboot our brains like a summer vacation, right?
True. True.
Let's see. And Michelle, do you have the most recent? Did you work
I
on
did. I
you did?
didn't.
You
No.
haven't? Okay, no worries. Okay. So okay, let's jump in. We're gonna do a quick Q&A session, just any questions. And I want to talk about paper and because I discovered something. And also, then Mark's going to show up and we're looking at profiles. So we're going to set him up as a profile. And then we're going to do that uh, photo that I shared in the
Mhm.
Facebook an email of
Mhm.
Lauren, the near profile. So if you don't have a copy, have it
Yes.
on a device that you can look at
Mhm.
or just look at the screen. We'll work through it. Okay, 2 people. You're working on 2 people in a um, portraits. So you've
Yeah.
got 2 people. So I'm going to spotlight and talk to you about a portrait that I did and kind of the thinking that I went through when I did it.
Like my niece looked great when she was by herself. I mean, because I did that one first and that looked awesome. But then I added, you know,
We'll talk about that.
and
Um,
one was really tan. Ryan was really tan, and my niece Taylor was, she was 10 years younger than Ryan, and she was very fair skinned.
I'm wondering if I can get the photo. Okay, just just a limit. Let me pull the I'm gonna take your I'm gonna talk about the photo, not your drawing. Is that okay? So I'll see both of them. Okay. I'm thinking on the fly here. All right. So when you're working on 2 people, I'll talk through kind of my thinking and what I do and how I do it. Um, yeah, okay. Change cameras. Okay. Here's the drawing that I did. Um, it's it's an older couple. I did it as um, I did it for, there was an auction, an art auction, and to raise money for a different um, charity events. But what it was, I've got two people here, and I was really excited about drawing this because of the motion of the people, right?
Mhm.
And when I started, I just grabbed a piece of paper. I was really inspired by this drawing, and I started working on him. And I always start with the head area. So I started getting his face in and I start building him out, but I didn't finish him. I located him on the paper about where I thought it would be, and then I started laying her in.
Mhm.
And as I started doing it, the actual photo, I wanted her face to look like she's looking at his eyes. And the way the head was, it was down. So then I realized, oh, I need to go into Photoshop and do some course correction, to correct her position. So it's more of this. So I started laying him in. I stopped. I worked on her to figure out where I wanted it. And she was over here. So I wanted her closer. So then I'm looking at the design. And then once I got an image or a drawing of a quick sketch drawing of what I wanted, then I came back in and I started placing her in. So it isn't when you're working on figures, you work a little bit here, you add here, and it's constantly going back and forth. I'd start to develop this part, I'd come back in, I start laying in hands. So it's always kind of a dance between one and the other. And there's always this juxtaposition or relationship of this size to size head to this head, trying to get the feeling of the tilt, trying to get all these pieces to look right. With this, I, you know, to be honest, I just went at it. I didn't do a bunch of the preliminary sketches that we're learning to do now. It was just I just went in and did it. I don't think I have any drawing. The drawing that you see is Vine charcoal. It's Vine charcoal on Stonehenge. Stonehenge paper is really nice to be able to get the value shifts and all that.
It's Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Is Stonehenge paper all one kind of paper, or is there, drawing and like level 3 or 4?
Stonehenge is the name of the manufacturer, so I'm sure there's different.
Which one are
I'm-
you referring to?
I'm not, I just get the drawing paper.
Okay.
I don't think it has different grades like wet or it's
Yeah.
just,
Okay. No, I just wondered. Drawing
Yeah.
paper. Yeah. Thank you.
and so this piece actually auctioned for $5,000. And
Wow.
she died. He got the drawing, he got this of family member bought it for them. And she ended up passing away like 2 weeks later.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
So it became a treasured memory.
yeah, wow.
And so what I'm saying there is, there's this place where you want to start laying. So I took time to lay it out. Well, that's not true. I got super inspired. I had my paper, I'm running, I'm grabbing it. I had a photo and I start laying it in. And I got the man in because he's the stable force of it. So I got him blocked in real quick. Start working in the face, stopped, looked at her. Where am I going to put her? Because I need that, that motion. I want that back, that looking and stuff.
Mhm.
Took my time, stepped away, looked at the design, did the drawing, got a plan, went back into it and start working on it. I work a little bit on his face to go into her face. It was constantly back and forth, that relationship, that space
Mhm.
between that relationship. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I was told it's like eating around the plate. So you work here, you work there. The
Mm-hmm.
problem with completing an area, so you go in and you finish one.
Yeah.
Now you got to put the other one in.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got this one. I love it. It's beautiful. Now I got this other one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like trying to shift to get that one to look as good as this one.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're like pulling it, trying to get it to work. And a lot of times, especially with painting, if you get an area just perfect, you're not going to touch the area. Then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden you're working around this perfect area. And now this perfect area is sticking out like a sore thumb because you're trying to make everything else look as good as that.
Yeah.
So it's a literally an artistic chain around the neck because you're dragging, trying to pull it and make it all work.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you work in this area and you develop the drawing or painting all around, then you'll start to see it. It informs this area, it informs that area, this person informs that person. And then it just starts coming together as one. Then you can go back in and say, okay, this one, this needs that. Then you start looking and this isn't quite right, go in there. Then you start manipulating your values and your edges. This one's popping forward, I want to push it back. So then that's that, and it isn't a one and done, it's a layering and build up to the crescendo.
You do the same thing no matter what you're drawing. You can't just work on one spot. You have to fit the, even with the farm, you've got all the things around it and you have to you have to do it on everything. So you would do that when you're doing more than one person also,
So
to
like
get
if
them
you
all in.
so you wouldn't do the eyes first. You kind of do the outline of the whole shapes
Here, let
and
me
then go
go
back in and do the eyes. Because when we start
Okay, when you say the eyes, I'll show you what the eyes look like.
but
There's
you
no
wouldn't do that first. You would do the outline of the person.
With the head.
no no I always start with the eyes. I go in, I get the eyes on first. I
Mm,
always go, I just get them in there real quick. I don't finish them, and do you see how much detail is in the eyes?
there's nothing.
There's nothing. If I zoom way in,
Yeah,
do you see this little spot right here?
Mm,
yeah.
But when you look at the drawing, you see eyes.
yeah.
The
But
value. The value.
it's a value in the edges. So look how I developed this. It's just, do you see this shape right here? That's that shadow shape to show that this is in the cavity, the eye socket.
Oh.
Do you see that? That's what you're seeing. You're not seeing the little, and there's a little bit darker here. You're seeing these shapes. You're not seeing eyelashes and pupils and all that. And even in the mouth, his mouth is open and laughing. Look at that. Look at his teeth. There's a dark here. There's just a little bit of value. There's a transition, and then the bright white here. But do you see how it curves into his mouth?
Yeah.
The teeth curve into his mouth, is what you're saying?
Yeah, do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the hardest time doing
Is
that. Prodigal
yeah, is
Son.
it curving because of the shading, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a step of value. And if I were going to get really like this edge right here is probably a little bit too hard, just between the darker value and the midtone, just a little softening would make it not curve so much. But you know what? He's wearing dentures and you don't really see it. I'm not really concerned about that because it's not, I get the sense of teeth. The drawing's not about the teeth. You get the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with the eyes, you literally think there's eyeballs, right? And then look at her. There aren't any eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But when
So
you
did
look,
you
huh?
Did you go from his eyes down to her glasses when you
Um,
drew it? Or did you stay?
Probably the glasses were last. I started getting her in and then I took a kneaded eraser and pulled that out. So you get the value around her. You get the eye in. Then you take the kneaded eraser and just pull. Just real quick.
Michelle, the lady's hair at the top, not where I can see the shading on the bottom. I suspect there's the finest shading there because, of course, I don't think you left it blank paper, but it looks like blank paper from here.
Do you see the lines right here?
Uh-huh.
I just put a little bit of quick line in there to delineate between the white paper and the hair.
But underneath those marks,
Right here, there's a
where it's the brightest above, in between the
right
major
here.
part, right there. Is there any
No, pure
shading?
white.
Oh,
Mm-mm. If
and
there is, it might just be a little smudgy.
I see. And out
This,
of curiosity, what's the finished size of that image?
probably I was working on a 20 by 30 paper. So
Yeah.
I would say this is probably about 16 by 20. Is it finished?
Uh-oh.
So I had room to move
Yeah.
and I let the paper texture. Do you see this? This is all, I didn't draw any of that. I just pulled my vine charcoal over it to create this texture.
Mhm.
Oh,
There's, do you see how I'm using some line over here? It's broken.
yeah.
The hands don't, there's some value here. Do you see that down
Yeah.
here? But
Mhm.
this is just left white.
Oh,
This is a hard, crisp edge between here and here, so that looks white to her. This is white sleeves, so everything, the value in the shadow is really light. It's not as dark as the dark fabric.
You did charcoal on that whole thing?
This is all vine charcoal.
so that
Were they-
paper has a lot of texture. If you
No,
did those bumps.
no, I'll show you. I'll show you. We're going to talk about paper. And then do you see this? Do you see the background? Do you see what I did? Oh, no, you can't see it because I don't have it on camera. Do you see what I did here?
To the floor?
No, I just took my finger and connected them. Do you see that? So
Oh.
when you look at it,
Mm-hmm. It united them.
do you see this circle?
Mm-hmm.
So this is more about design. Just little tricks to pull them around and through. His elbow, do you see this? I've got some eraser marks over here. I didn't fret about it and get pure white. It looks like his arm is moving.
Oh, it does.
The hands, if I was going to say nemesis for me, are the ears and the hands. So I just do what I got to do to get it done and move on. I don't fret about them. Having energy in your drawing and not overworking and fretting about it is a big one too.
Mhm.
But I started with the eyes. I got his face in. I know that. I started drawing his. If I were going to do it, I would be pulling my vine charcoal to create that. Then I came in. I started in her face, so I got that. That was the most important. So I start working on her face. Then I start pulling her in. Then I got the hands.
It's a beautiful, beautiful, expressive. drawing.
Yes,
Yes,
And
beautiful.
were they a couple?
they were married forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the photo they gave me, okay, when you all start doing drawings for family and friends,
Mhm.
and they're going to give you photos that are like, I can't do anything with that. And they originally gave me a photo of the two of them sitting together, looking at the camera and on the back of a pickup truck. And I'm like, that does nothing for me. So I contacted his son. I go, do you have any other photos of them together? He goes, well, I've got this one. And I'm like, so if someone says, and they're going to ask you, could you do child or whatever, and they give you a photo, don't feel like you have to do that.
Mhm.
Because I've done that a number of times. I'll go back because people take photos, and you did before. You took photos of the child or your loved one without even thinking about shadows and
Mhm.
stuff. But now you're going to get a better photo if you have some shadow on the face, right? And you're starting to look at composition, and you're going to be able to take that and draw it. People don't, they just snap and go. They're not thinking about all that. But now as an artist, if they give you something, you're like, that doesn't even tell a story.
Mm.
When they gave me the dancing one, the photo was kind of blurry and not super great, but I'm like, I can work with that.
And you used your value app?
I probably did. I probably checked it. Definitely black and white. Definitely
Yeah,
100% black and white.
right.
This is like 5 years ago. It's been a
Mhm.
while. But
It's-
to answer your question, Michelle, do you understand with the eyes? You just kind of get them. It isn't really about drawing all the details in the eyes. It's getting the values around the side. It's all about value shapes, and they're just two little smudges. They're not even developed. But did you sense when you first saw it? Did you see eyes? Did you sense it?
Yeah,
It's kind of profound, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
When I say I draw people, I don't really draw their eyes. I draw the value shapes, and then I start manipulating the edges and the value. I get it closer and closer, but it's more about getting in the value shapes. And if you're like, what? Let it flow over you. And remember, the big key takeaway with this is work on Taylor and then go to Ryan and then go back to Taylor and go back and forth and start with the eyes. Get the eyes in. Look at the Z that we talked about. Okay?
Mhm.
Any more questions? It's fun. It's really fun to draw like this. I feel like I'm like, you gotta do it. You just gotta trust me and you gotta try. And what's so cool is once you understand it as you're practicing, as you're getting closer, you start with, I didn't start like this. Before I studied with my teacher, I didn't draw like this. I had to have everything perfect and nice and tight and all the details. So I understand where you're at. I thought I had to have all that. When I trained with David and I'm doing this, then you can it's just fun because I have the knowledge of how to set up the structure. So I got that, and then you got to switch. You go from, if you're tracing or if you're drawing it with a Z, or you're getting in that original initial shape, that locations of where the face is on the head, getting that in, slowing down, drawing it lightly, and then you could put that brain away and just grab your vine charcoal or your pencil and have fun. Then you get to put your intuitive self into it.
I'm so tight when I'm doing portraits, very tight when I'm doing portraits. Whereas if I'm just doing, when I'm just playing with my charcoal, I'm just playing. Like Michelle, she was in the last class when we were doing the farm. And she said to me, she says, you got it all done already. And it was only like a half an hour because I just went with it. But when I'm doing portraits, it's like, I didn't get this. It's gotta be, oh my God, this is wrong. This is, it's just like, it's so tense to do,
Who else is feeling like that?
so tense to do a
Who
portrait.
else feels like that? Are you feeling like that? Okay.
Probably.
Michelle, did you say I probably should be?
Probably I am, but I don't realize it. I probably am.
That's all right. That's right. You're crossing over. So that is, so
I'm sorry, the difference is the portrait, it has to look like the person, whereas if you're just doing something else, it's just like, just get it on there. It doesn't have to look like. Yeah.
that's your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's your brain screaming. It's got to look like that person.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute you activate your brain, all of a sudden you're tight.
Yeah.
So you're overthinking it. And it will look like the person if when you do that initial block in and quick measures, and right now it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look exactly like them. Right now you're learning some new tools. And that initial drawing, just like we do with still life, when you first start drawing, we did some initial drawing, how to lay things in.
Mhm.
And then we grab the vine charcoal. The minute you pick that up, that's when you get to play and have fun.
Mhm.
So just like anything, you need a little bit of a structure. Otherwise, then wait, this isn't looking right. Then you're not. Just like you said with the cow, when you drew that cute cow, you're like, you wish that you would have had a little bit of structure there to draw his face on, and then it would have made it easier to the play. So this is just literally, I'm teaching you what you're learning here is how to see. Because we see faces every day, right? I got this. And my brain's going, I know what to do. You put the eyes here, you get the mouth down here because that's what it looks like. That's what your brain is saying, right?
Mhm.
And then things are turning wonky and I'm speaking to the choir, their heads tilted, but all of a sudden your drawing is like this. So you kind of got the tilt, but then the face is over here, right? And it's just having this initial drawing, and it doesn't have to be perfect, get yourself at least so that you've got the head where the face aligned with the head, right?
As she looks at us.
Yeah.
It's like, doggone it, have fun.
Okay, Michelle.
Doggone it, fun.
Just have fun. And but what I'm teaching you here is how to see the world, how to break it down so you can get on the paper and get a little bit of a structure, kind of the cupcake idea. You gotta make the cupcake before you put the sprinkles on, right? Our brain wants to put the eyelashes and the freckles on this face before we even have a structure. So here's couple methods to have a structure. And once you have that underlying structure, walk away from it, take a breath, grab your vine charcoal, and then let your intuitive self, just play.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And it takes a while to get the two to blend, but trust me, it will. And don't go 10 years like it took me. You don't want to do that. Right now, I'm saying this, I didn't understand why can't I could do it here, but I can't do it there. What's the problem here? And it was all here. And it literally just, once you get into the habit, just have a system. And you have a system, this is what I'm doing. And then you put the other part, allow yourself to start playing with values. Color. Then you get to color it.
Do
Trying to
you
think of
use
Color?
ever use pencil and vine charcoal together?
Typically, when I'm doing a portrait for someone, I just use vine charcoal only. I did another one with a horse and a baby, a father, baby, and a horse. It was an old, tiny, little black and white, and the husband wanted to give it have a portrait or a drawing of it made big to make it so that it was that one I had to use fine charcoal and pencil on
Vine charcoal and what?
pencil. And
Do you
what's
want-
nice working with when you're working with a drawing that's small and kind of fuzzy, then you can't get all the detail in it, you know. It then you're kind of like not worried about it because you're just capturing the essence of the photo and it's
And maybe it's better to use something that's fuzzy. Well, fuzzy it and then draw it.
yes, it is. Because then you're literally not looking at the details, you're looking at the value shapes.
Mhm.
You're just looking at the value shapes. Yeah.
How do people find out about that that they can bring photos to you? You've done a lot of different things.
I'm part of an art gallery, and they give my name. Someone wants something, so they give my name out. Um, it's I don't advertise it in the area. It just happens. It's really cool. It happens when it needs to happen. Here, I'll show you. This one was so that's it. Just people. I want to do more of it because I love doing these. This is a drawing that I did.
Wow. Wow.
Mm.
Did I say wow?
You
Yes,
did,
you
said
did.
it.
Oh my gosh.
And I I could say I don't draw horses. Here I am drawing a horse. It was the first time. But I was working for a tiny little black and white that was held in her wallet. And here's see his eyes. You see his eyes? And the baby is just a little chin. There's not much detail at all on her. And then the horse, there's the eyes. So they're really just value shapes. And then the vine charcoal part was this, the that you see this texture on the horse. Isn't it yummy?
I know vine charcoal makes its own texture.
Yeah, it holds a page. This one was about 12 by 12. It wasn't really big. Yeah, and she cried when she got it. And this is let's see, this is my dad. This is on rice paper, and I can hang it from the wall and it moves. But I developed the head and then the body. I just had it go down into nothing.
Hmm.
It's, that one's
Somebody had asked me to do it. Somebody had asked me to do a portrait of one of our relatives who had passed, and I gave it to my cousin.
oh, you should have done it. And
No, 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 I couldn't, I couldn't. So my cousin does
oh,
wonderful portraits. Tina.
yeah, well, we're going to talk about that real quick. But do you see how I'm using values here to develop the
Mhm.
face? I use values here to develop the hand, but not as dark or detailed. Do you see that? There's this thing going between them. And then I use line, this broken line, to create texture. So the whole drawing isn't fully developed.
That's all
Did
vine
his shirt?
charcoal,
I'm sorry.
Vine charcoal on rice paper.
rice paper.
Yeah.
Did
That was a
the-
little bit more difficult to work on because rice paper is tender, so it could get real fuzzy real quick. And
what did
there's
you agreed with Marilyn a minute ago regarding something? I think Marilyn might have said that the vine charcoal was yummy and creates its own texture. I
Mhm.
think what I'm doing is I'm rubbing it all out because I
yeah.
thought it was supposed to be even and not show all those little bumpy things.
Right now, as you're learning, and what that is, that's more the after fact. Right now, we want to keep blocks of value, the darks, the midtones, and the lights separated.
Mhm.
And you're in that beginner learning stage. And so because when you're in the darks and you go really light, it pops out and it doesn't fit. It all of a sudden becomes like, what's that? And you got to stay within that value plane.
How does that relate to the term texture that I just used? That Marilyn used. Oh, Marilyn used.
Texture is once you get the value plane. Let me see. Let me pull that up again. once you get, here we go. Changing my. Oh, come on.
I think on faces, it has to be basically smoothed out.
Well, and then, but look at them.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's texture in there.
yeah, there is texture in there.
But the texture that he has, it's dark. If I would have put a highlight down here, it would stick out weird. It
Yeah.
would fall apart. So everything within this value plane has to be within one step, maybe half a step apart. Do you see that?
Mhm.
And then up here, so there's texture up here, just really subtle texture.
Mhm.
Because old men have that on their foreheads like that. I guess old women do too. Elderly, best aged men do. They it isn't like black and white. It's just a subtle. It's very subtle. You see that?
Mhm.
So are you saying we're not at that stage yet? We should smooth it out with a stump or something or a finger?
Right now, yeah. Does that make sense?
I didn't want to hear that, but
Right now, do that to begin with, and then you can I'm seeing if I put the
is it because the texture has a mixture of light and dark that's why we're not there yet?
right now, what I'm gonna have you do is play.
Yeah.
Get the value shape in first. You want, so all of this is I got it on first, and then you go back over if you need texture.
But I thought the texture came from the paper. And if I smoothed it out, how do I get it back?
You just lay it on top of again.
Go over it. Yeah.
You just lay it. I'm trying to find something here. Sorry, I'm scrolling.
Yeah,
It
you
makes
don't
you
make your work. I like seeing it.
this, there's a lot of information here, but I didn't do much drawing. Like all this back here, I had a light value down, and then I scruffed dark value, and then I just start pulling it out.
Really?
I didn't draw every limb and tree. It's like layering of values. Here's a dark, soft, so I build it up. This area was all one value, like a mid-tone, and then I put darker, and then I started taking the fine charcoal and laying it and pulling it to create it.
Hmm.
Does I want to find, let me get this. I might
And
not
never
have
find
it.
what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, I've got too much of a mess. Okay, we're done. Any more? Oh, here. So like this is a drawing of the cat and my daughter. And you can see it, right? But there isn't a lot of detail in there.
Wow.
And the texture in the hair, it's the values, like in this dark value, there's one step apart. This is a mid-tone, but the lightest part in the mid-tone isn't white. So there's texture in there by moving your vine charcoal around. So let's talk about that. So quick, let's see, Mark's gonna be in here about 5 minutes. Okay, this is a paper I originally had to get. If you have this one, it's at here, let me change my cameras. I've got no space, right? I've got to move to a bigger space. Okay, this is the paper that I talked about at Walmart. This is paper that you can get, I think at Michael's, definitely online. This is a Strathmore.
I love that paper. Yeah,
It's
that's
nicer.
what I use.
And then this paper is what I used on my dad's portraits. It's Hobby Lobby.
Spiral sketchbook.
It's a sketchbook, sketching paper, and it's Master Touch.
Mm.
Okay, so what I do, and I was playing with it, and not all paper and not all Vine charcoal are the same. So then this is a Walmart. This is Hobby Lobby. And this is Strathmore. So, and this is talking to you, Nancy, about that Mia Temps that you bought, the Canson paper.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a piece here. I do in my studio, but I don't have it here. So what I do when I'm picking up paper, I touch it. And can you hear these sounds?
No.
No.
Okay, I'll do a videotape and send that to you. I'll like record it so that you can hear it.
What's it sound like?
This one's pretty smooth, like this one lower, a little bit more of a drag. And this one has more, this has more texture to it.
Hmm.
So
The Strathmore's in the middle.
the Strathmore's in the middle. This one's smoother. This one's a little bit of texture. Like if you were touching, if I were going to do grit, this would be like 1500 grit. It's pretty smooth. Maybe 500 grit paper. This one would be like 250 grit paper. And this would be 100. And I'll show you what happens when you put Vine charcoal on it. There it is, just putting it on. So you could start to see the difference. I'll rub it out. Use a clean finger. This is the paper that my dad was on. And what I like about it is you can really start to pull it. Since it has more tooth to it,
Oh, more tooth is good. Okay.
more tooth is good. It
Huh.
will hold more Vine charcoal. When you do the Walmart's better. I would use that more for pencil than Vine charcoal. It loads up so much. And then when you touch it, it just all of a sudden you go from dark to light because it's so loaded with the Vine charcoal, it's hard to play with it. Strathmore's pretty nice. It has do you see it's a little bit softer? This one's darker, more contrast. Since it's softer, you have to build up more layers. This, look how same Vine charcoal, but look how dark I can get it.
Wow. Same pressure, I guess.
Same pressure. Then what I do is, how does it?
Interesting. The line of the Strathmore looks the cleanest from here, but it might be the next one.
These two are pretty close.
Yeah. The other one's not a clean line at all. The sketch.
It's too soft. And then you could start using your kneaded eraser to start pulling in and drawing and softening.
So you're shaping the material you put down.
Yes, I'm shaping the material I put down with the kneaded eraser.
Can this little late.
Okay.
2
Yep.
minutes.
That'd be perfect, Mark. Yeah, see the difference here? It's not as easy to work with on there.
So what if you wanted to just use pencil? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Or would you recommend?
If you just want to do, yeah. I like using Vine charcoal because of what I can do with it. Once you have a pencil in your hand, all of a sudden it becomes pencils have points. So then your mind changes to got to make it look exactly right. It's a mindset for me. But yeah, there it is on the Walmart paper. You can blend it. Here it is on the Hobby Lobby paper. See, this has a texture in it inherently. Do you see that?
Mhm.
So I don't even have to worry about trying to get texture. It's happening.
And a stump would not smooth it out all the way?
I'll try.
Definitely in the middle.
Do you see the difference?
Mm.
And then stumps. Oh, stumps, they come with, I found out those, sandpaper boards, that you get with your stumps sometimes or your drawing kit. That's how you clean it. You can sandpaper this.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I know. My
Wow,
sister,
that's a
my-
good tip.
I know. My sister has one. And she goes, "What's this for?" And I go, "I don't know."
I
Came
use
with
it to
this.
I use it to sharpen my charcoal.
Yeah, you could do that. And also you can clean your stump. So this is
Wow.
on the stump or with the stump. Yeah,
I
isn't that
normally
cool?
clean my stump on my apron.
Now, this is with the Walmart paper. Yeah, say I'm using my pant leg. And then here's the
Yes.
Hobby Lobby.
Could you open the Hobby Lobby book again so that I can see what the cover looks like?
Yeah. And
That
that's
would be great for your pastels.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
what is that paper called?
Oh, it's Master Touch. And they're 40% off right now at Hobby Lobby.
Master Touch.
It's Master Touch. And they only come with the spiral bound. And they have a drawing paper, but when you touch it, it's smoother. The pound is 80 pounds. They have a drawing paper, which you might buy just to try it.
I
But
have
this
sketch.
sketch paper this is paper I used. And I got this size and the bigger size. I think it's 11 by 14.
I'm using this one for class.
Oh, what is it?
Master class sketch.
Yeah, Master Touch.
Master touch sketch.
What weight does it have?
Oh my gosh, you want to know what weight? It's heavy. 70 pound.
Okay. So it's a little bit lighter weight. The weight of the paper usually it's a nicer paper, typically.
It's smooth there.
Yeah, it's smoother.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Try if you get the 80 pound in the spiral bound, they're nice. Come on. My
There you are.
my Mia Temps by Canson. That's for Vine charcoal.
I don't like Canson paper.
I hate Canson paper.
I hate
But
Canson paper.
Mi Tentes, M-I, and then capital T-E-N-T-S. You can get different colors, which are fun to work on. But that's more for fine charcoal
Mhm.
because it won't take a lot of erasing.
You know, it has a smooth side and a rougher side.
You can draw on either one.
Yesterday, I watched a tutorial on YouTube where the woman was doing soft and hard pastels, and she chose to use the smooth side, and I was surprised.
Yeah, you
because-
can use if you use especially with soft pastels, the problem with using the bumpy side, then you've got little dots. And
Yeah, really
and it's
bumpy,
hard, it's almost impossible to cover them. But that's for soft pastels or Vine charcoal. You don't want to use Bristol board. You can't erase it. Bristol board is horrible. You want to use drawing paper definitely for pencil. But Mi Tentes is too fragile. the surface is
that's
too
why it
fragile.
was tearing when I was erasing.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh.
You have to be careful.
For my charcoal drawing, I like Strathmore sketch. And it's, I saw it, 50 pounds.
That's pretty light. But I would never use it, but I'm not used to it.
Yeah, I like it because I I find that I can work with that better. Or what's this one? Because this is,
If I'm selling artwork, I
this
put it on
one's 70
Stonehenge.
pounds. A Strathmore drawing, 70 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, mine is this Master Touch and the Stonehenge paper.
Yeah, I like the drawing and the sketch papers better than the charcoal paper.
Yeah, charcoal paper
It's too toothy.
too toothy.
Yeah,
Now you can get sanded paper for soft pastels, and that's like working on butter. And you can layer. You want tooth, so when you touch it, it sounds a sound. You can hear it. It's like velvet.
oh, I love it
know,
when,
when
Michelle,
when you're
I love
feeling
it.
velvet, or when you're walking, in the velvet pants, you go.
Yeah. I love it when Nancy uses her pastels on bumpy paper at class.
Yeah,
It
Love the
sounds.
it
sound.
was a charcoal paper, or no, it was. I think she gave it to me. I think it was charcoal paper. I'm confused because you're asking about the pounds of the paper, and what I had looked at before was the series, because I noticed
Series is
by
good.
accident that I, saw that I had Better, and I think Better was 300 series and Best was 400 series.
Yeah,
I thought 400 must be more expensive, and
yeah.
I'm playing, maybe I should. But the
Just-
400 series is 60 pound and it says Best, and you're saying 80 is
I
good.
just usually and that might be a watercolor thing. I associate better paper with heavier pounds, and usually
Okay.
the way of the paper is a thicker paper. The pounds is a thicker paper, so it's usually a nicer paper to work on.
I see,
With
that's
the pounds.
the pounds. Okay, thicker. Okay, thank you.
Okay. We're waiting on Mark. He's out selling some stuff, so he'll be in a little bit. So, I'm going to talk about something I realized, and I'm kind of curious about this. So when I'm drawing and I realize something, come on, dude. Yeah, it's like erase. There we go.
There you are.
This camera is being so naughty. Okay, something I realized is when I draw, I look at from here to here, the outside of the eye to the outside of the mouth. Okay. Let me set them.
Don't poke your eye out.
I know. The relationship. There we go. And the thing is, so now I know where the facial features are. And when you turn, do you see that? This box on the face stays. Do you see how it's changing
Mhm.
between the eyes and the mouth? So it's a line up here. It's a quadrilateral. Do you see that? Yeah. Do you see that?
Tilt your head again a few times.
Do you see it changing? Here.
Yeah. It's changing and staying the same, but that doesn't make sense.
Because when I tilt, things closer to you get wider, bigger.
Oh,
Things in the back, my head is coming forward, so it gets
Perspective.
smaller.
Yeah, it's perspective.
We're dealing with perspective now. You see that? Is that cool?
Perspective on the face.
so
Huh?
that's one eye is bigger than the other on a 3/4?
Yes, because so when I turn this way, let me set up again. This eye is closer to you,
It's gonna be bigger.
it's going to be bigger.
Yep, just like
that?
a tree.
And when you turn the other way, the
The
other eye,
other
your hair.
Mhm.
things that are closer to you are bigger. So see how big my hand is
Mhm.
compared to my face?
Mhm.
Let's see. Working on this camera is weird. See how big it is?
Yeah,
But look how small it is.
yeah.
So do you see this hand looks really big,
Mhm.
but this hand looks small. And then look how tiny my
Wow.
hand looks.
Wow.
Do you see that?
Hmm.
Perspective. But I never thought of perspective on a face.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Because this eye gets bigger, it's closer to you,
Mhm.
this eye. And so they're the same size eyes,
Yeah.
but to get the sense of the likeness of the person on a 2D surface, we're taking a 3D object and putting on a 2D surface, a flat surface paper. In order to do that, the eye, the facial features, my ear, well, you don't see two ears, but this eye is bigger, even though it's not. But on the drawing, this eye has to be bigger, this eye has to be smaller. The mouth, I got a smile. Look at this. You see more of this mouth and just a tiny bit of that. Do you see it?
Could you
Mhm.
tilt your head just slightly more in the same direction? No, the same, but going, yeah. Because that's where my niece's mouth was.
Do you see
And I
they
had
aren't?
trouble. I thought I lost from the cheek to the jaw. There was almost no face.
Yes. But your head is like, no, she's got a mouth. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Your brain is saying, no, you got a mouth. And that it's the same, it's symmetrical. But look, it's not. Do you see
Yeah,
see
it's not.
more of this
Oh.
and just a little bit of that?
Mhm.
Michelle, can you, for a minute, since Mark's not there, use the image I sent you of my niece related to that conversation?
Yeah, I got it. I think I okay, just a sec. I'm thinking about where it's at.
I sent it to the portrait Facebook, the portrait class Facebook, I think.
Yes, you did. Huh. When you're working on something, oh, I know what I did with it.
Ah, you moved
Oh,
it.
this is so cool. Let's see, where is it? I got it. All right. Wait until you see all three. You saw them individually, but wait until you see this. That's so cool. And something else. No one's allowed to be critical about their work.
Our own work?
Yes.
Well, hello. Okay.
No one's allowed to do whatever you're doing now. Wait until you see this. Whatever you're doing now, you are growing, right? You're growing. Each time you do it, I'm seeing this growth. Okay, ready? Here we go. Look at that.
Oh, you put them together.
Yeah. So this is your first. You have the head up and straight. This is second. You're starting to get the tilt. You're starting to get the tilt.
Yeah. See the mouth? Yeah.
Do you see it?
Mhm.
You know, until I see them together, I did not know I didn't have as much tilt as I knew. I got more. I knew I got.
Wait a minute. We're not
Oh.
gonna credit. Shoot. Darn it. Let me do this. Oh, here, let me send this to you all. I'll put it in the group. My Facebook is being naughty.
Facebook. So you're sending it just by email?
Sorry. Go to the chat. Okay. My iPad is being naughty. Okay.
Oh.
So let's look at the mouth here. there's this thing that happens in our brains, and it happens to all of us. We want to stretch, we want to put them, do you see how close
Right.
the eyes are to the mouth here? We all want to do this. We all want to put the eyes up here and then drop the mouth down low. It's just something that happens. And here's a close to profile. It's a extreme 3/4. And when we look at the mouth, do you see how this side, the right side of the mouth, do you see how it gets really small?
Mm-hmm.
We don't see the full mouth like we would in a front looking at it straight on. This is your brain talking. This is your brain
Mhm.
saying, no, a mouth is the same. This is what a mouth looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting this beautiful contour line. You're getting the eyes. Look at that.
The eyes too high.
And well, we're not judging it. We're just talking. Yeah, you actually the eyes are fine. The eyes are okay. It's the mouth. This separation is too big.
So then I need to shorten the nose.
Yeah, look at that. Can you see it?
I had so much trouble. I pushed the nose up 2 different times because I ran out of room for chin because I did it
Yeah.
horizontal and the original was vertical.
Yeah.
And so I misjudged where
Now
the
on
bo-
this face, on the first one, look at that. You got the spacing is better. You didn't stretch it. The spacing is good.
oh,
But
really? But it's all started too high because I didn't put a tilt in her head.
and no, we're not going there. This where it's at, it's fine. You just into this was a more intuitive drawing. And the nose is good. Look at the nose. You got that. This you can see that you were overthinking. You got the eyes in, you got all that in, and here your brain took over. Do you see that? Both are good. But do you see the growth?
I knew there was a lot of growth, but I also invested probably 10 times, maybe 20 times more time into it.
Um, that's something else you gotta be careful as an artist. Um, when we start thinking about the amount of time that we have invested, we just gotta say, you know what, that's Nancy, that's you investing time in learning and seeing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's not, okay, I put all this work into it, and maybe this is the next step to the next piece. It's not, that's kind of tombstone thinking when we think, okay, I got all this time, now I gotta make it work.
Mm-hmm.
This is, you're still growing. You all are still growing.
And by the way, on the shadow, because the original photo was in color, on the shadow, there's this huge rectangular block under her nose at an angle. And when I drew it in, it looked horrible, maybe because I had the value too much. So I didn't, I think I tried to ignore it afterwards because I showed it to my granddaughter and I said, oh, please excuse the giant booger coming out of her nose.
Well, what I would do, so yeah, no doubt. Even on the photo, it's too dark. So um, what it is Photographs Extreme. They do black and white. They can't get all that information. I would put it on there, just not that dark. And this, you got this area right here, but this whole side is dimmer than
Yeah.
this side. So this whole side right now, you've got, it's not, come on. This, so you've got the same value. This shade over here is going to be lighter. This is going to be a little bit dimmer.
Okay.
If
What
I were
is that?
sitting there,
What is that booger coming out of her nose?
it's her nose. The
Shadow.
light's coming down here. It's a shadow from her nose. So
Oh,
this is too dark. This is a little bit too dark too. So just rather than going with a value that is, you know, probably this dark,
Yeah.
I would go with a dark mid-tone. more like this.
And I think in the color photo, I don't think I saw the shadow at all.
Probably.
Wow.
And this has to be dimmer. So if this area over here is here, you know, 1 through, you know, here's the white, that's this area. This area over here needs to be more like this.
Yeah.
This would have a shadow to it because that's an important shadow shape. So you have to have that. And this, if you just dim all of this right now, I would reshape your nose. Well, anyhow, leave it. I would, if I were there with you, I would just put a little bit of value here. I would use my finger to pull it. I would get rid of this tight. I would get rid of this completely because you don't see it.
So yeah, so I would lose about the last eighth of her mouth completely, and it would end with the dark space.
Yeah. Yeah, because look at her teeth.
Yeah, I didn't put the teeth in.
You could put the bottom edges of the teeth. I would put the bottom edges of the teeth so that you can see them. And it goes right here. It lifts here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The position is right. Yeah. And even here, you can cut back on her cheek. Do you see this line right here, this contour line?
To me, how do you mean cut back? Because I think I didn't pooch it out enough. Because I
Oh no.
pooched
See
it out
the
too much.
see the
and
distance here?
so I don't see the difference. You're saying that there's less distance on the image than what I put in, or vice versa?
Yeah, you've got it too big.
I have it too muted, too
Too big. So
big.
it comes in here. See the
Oh.
distance between the nose comes out just a little bit. And then it comes down here. And then it comes over here.
So by pooching the nose out and
Yeah.
pulling in a tad,
Yeah.
I kept looking at that big hump of the cheek.
Yeah,
thinking,
that mine's a little
every
bit too.
every time I drew it in, it was too far out, but maybe because the nose wasn't far out enough.
Yeah, well, we're gonna
Beautiful.
work on that today. Okay,
Okay.
Mark's here.
Thank you.
Get your
Yay.
sketchbooks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
She's
Yeah.
very beautiful.
She's gorgeous, and we got
Thank you.
everyone. We got to stop. And I'm speaking to the choir right now. There's times when you need to, you know, get things a little tighter and this, but you gotta let that go and play. Okay,
Okay, we'll play drawing
and
mark.
let's play. Mark, you ready?
Okay.
Okay, grab your sketchbooks.
Vine charcoal.
Whatever you're most comfortable with, pencil, charcoal. And I'm gonna have them sit here. Grab your glasses. And we're gonna do a portrait, profile. Turn toward me.
Mm.
There we go. And I'm gonna have a scooch over this way a little bit.
Clean out my tray.
And
Good morning, Mark.
Morning.
we got our model here. And let me,
Can you see me?
okay. And this camera. Let's see. I wonder if it's too. And you can just kind of play with it right now if you want. There we go. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Okay. Can you see? How is that? Do you want me to zoom in a little bit? Are we good?
A lot.
Zoom in a little bit.
Okay, let me try, just a sec, I'm gonna try a different camera. Hopefully it's going to work. Oh, shoot, that's not what I want. That's it. Wow, it does work. Okay, hold the phone. Grab something to drink real quick or go potty. Give me a minute or two.
Okay.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Don't go too far.
No, right, no.
Oh, let me in there. Shoot. Right here. How do I do this? Shoot. Oh, settings.
I can't. Your body.
Just turn your head. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Shoot. There we go. Okay. Okay, you don't have to sit. You can stop. You can breathe. Let me see. Or you can back up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's good.
Good.
You're good.
Find my spot.
You don't have to sit still. No one's drawing you. Are you just sitting there?
I'm just sitting there.
He's practicing.
Like a model. He's a professional model. He doesn't move. Okay, you need to back
Happy
up,
room lights are lit.
back up a little bit. One time I was painting a model and my easel wasn't working, so he was sitting and I'm doing this with my easel, with my painting, and the whole easel fell on the model.
My gosh.
I was mortified. I'm like, he didn't move. The guy did not move at all. And then I'm like, I'm scrambling trying to get up, and the teacher comes by and goes, Michelle, you don't want to do that. You don't-
You made Mark orange.
It's a lighting. I think here, let me in real quick. I'm gonna lift it up. Don't lift it up or drop it down. I'm gonna give him a little bit of shoulder. Okay, portrait. Left hand. Do a left hand drawing. I'll give you 3 minutes.
Left hand.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
non-dominant.
Michelle.
I know. Have fun. I'm trying to force you guys to have fun. And then I'll tell you to get tighter. Okay,
Start.
3 minutes. Have fun and draw. Go. Draw what you see. Scoot towards me.
That's crazy.
Ah,
Okay, move while I'm moving. Okay. Everyone breathe. Draw what you see.
Give us a time tick
Yeah.
off.
Okay. 2:25. I'm hearing fine charcoal. 1:45.
Oh, I want to go to my right hand and work on him.
You'll get to. Just keep going. Get as much detail as you can. Have fun with it. 1 minute. Make them fly. You don't have to show it to anyone. This is just you. This is for you. You're breaking out of what it has to be to learn to live. Speak free.
I have to go to my right hand, Michelle.
No whining. 30 seconds. Get as much as you can.
I'm not sharing this.
You don't have to share it. Unless if you have a masterpiece. That can happen. 5 seconds.
Whoops. That was
And
a
time.
mistake.
You got time. Okay, I want to point something out. Do you see where his ear is? Look at your drawing. You guys look at your own drawing and assess it. Do you see the ear is in the middle of the head?
Mhm.
Do you see that? And I did a quick measure. It looks like it's almost like here's the plane of his face, not including his nose. But if you look at the front to the back, his ear is in the middle. So check your drawing. Did you get your ear in the middle of the head?
No, I got my ear. No, I got my ear. Of course, I could make his head fatter. And that
And
would
there
be-
you go. But that's the same.
Yeah, if I
and then
bring his
look
head
at-
down right.
Huh?
If I brought his head down right, his ear's fine.
Then yeah, but that's the important part. Ears in the middle of the head. And then look at this, the Z. Do you see it? Do you see that plane right here? And his brow is kind of out, kind of flat to his forehead, but there's a little bit. So do you see the Z?
Is
And
the
then
beginning of the Z the eyebrow?
up here, do you see it like comes out a little bit on his?
Oh, the Z is his profile, not going across his face, across his eyebrow.
It can. You could use that.
Okay, so that's the top part of the Z, the nose, the bottom part, and then under the nose, the other part. Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Good question. Do you have the facial features, this quadrilateral? Do you have this shape? Is it up here? Is it down here? Because this is that applies 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Okay, let's do it in near profile. So that,
With
Oh,
the
it's
right
hard to-
hand,
yeah, now you go to your regular hand.
Oh, good.
There.
Right,
Turn
focus more, right?
a little bit more. Right there.
How many minutes?
Let's do a quick drawing. Now look what happened to his ear. It's no longer in the middle of his forehead or his forehead.
I'm glad
You
you
didn't mean
heard.
that.
No smiling. Okay. And do you see we see just a tiny bit here. Do you see that? And this over here is dimmer than that. Stop. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes on this. You don't have to show it to anyone. This is strictly for you to relax and have fun with it. And 5 minutes. And begin. You know what? I'm going to give you a little bit more time. I'm going to stop and let's give you 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Ten minutes. Put your mouth. Man, Mark, you're a really good mama. I'll let it drop.
Talking about
Yeah, don't face drift.
drift what?
Just hold it right there. You're drifting to the left of it. Doing good. Just keep your eye on that, whatever you're looking at.
This is tough.
What light? This light?
It's okay.
Are you right?
Next.
Yeah, let me know if that helps. I always make his nose too. I make your nose too long. Let's give you a mustache. Seven minutes.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Five minutes. Look at it and what feels right. What feels few minutes.
How many?
3 minutes. Everyone needs to breathe. One and a half minutes. Making you look like a kid. 1 minute. How you doing, Mark?
I think I got you. Sort of.
Do you want 2 more minutes?
Well, it's up to Mark.
Mark's good.
Mark's good. So what's the answer, people?
Sure.
2 more minutes.
Still not gonna show it up to him.
Start looking at. I did do, okay, let's take a pause. I did a quick measure, and from the back of the head to the front of the ear is about 1/3 of the head.
Back of the head to the, say that again, the back of the head to the,
Back of the head to the front of the ear, this distance here is about 1 to about 1/3 the distance.
Oh, I did good.
I had mine. Okay, I had mine up here.
No, I did good.
You spotted it good. Another thing is check this. Check your thirds. 1, 2, and the third goes about right here. So his head is probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's
Oh,
almost
I did good.
4 units. So check that. The distance from his nose to his eye is, let's see, 1,
you're counting eye widths or
2. No, pretty much, but I'm looking at the from the outside of the eye to the front, this distance. 1, 2. Oh, it's about 3. It's
Okay.
about 3. Mm.
What's the 3 from his nose to his eyes? From his nose to his eyes to his what?
thank
His
you.
ear?
Oh, just turn your head just this way. Are you looking at the turn
No,
this
he's too turned too much.
right
Yep.
there?
Yep.
Okay. Just guesstimate. I'm not measuring perfect, but just a quick measure, probably to his nose, because his nose is extending a little bit from his face. So just a quick measure. 1, 2. It's about 3.
The
It's
eye
about 3.
is right eye
Yeah,
as we
to
face the camera
to this eye, from this side to his nose.
is 1/3 of the distance of the head.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm so this is 1/3 from the front of the ear to the outside of the eye to the face, the contour of the face. That's about 1/3. Okay, do a quick check, and then we're going to set for 3 more minutes. How you doing, Mark? You guys ready?
3 more minutes on this one?
Yeah, go ahead and 3 more minutes. And play with it. Just make your quick adjustments, and now go back in and play with them.
Oh, I've got to use my charcoal.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Begin. 3 minutes. Is something too heavy, too dark, lighten it. Doesn't need the part of the face that's disappearing in the background needs to be a little bit dimmer than the front. Do you need to add some value over there? This part of his face is in shadow, this is in light. His nose, I had it too long. I always want to draw his nose too long. It's not that long. One and a half minutes.
Hmm.
Oh, I know what makes him look older. That's the one, right? His neck doesn't come straight out of his chin. "30 seconds?"
And you told me I could play, but now you're pushing me.
Is that like a math test? Causes stress. Oh, I lost your cheek. You drifted a little bit. Sorry. 7 seconds. Yeah, you drifted a little. Do your last minute brushstrokes? And are you doing? Are you doing? Okay, model's done.
Thank you. Thank you. Mark.
Welcome. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Quite a model.
He's really good. My face falls. I go into this resting face. It's not pretty. Okay, you did great. All right, what do you guys think?
Interesting.
I needed every minute of those 12 minutes plus.
I find it difficult to do the nose when it extends past the face.
What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, the tip of his nose came out. If you looked, it was in the blue, from the background, and that just throws me off. It threw me off on your daughter too.
Because that's not how we see faces.
Right.
We don't see faces like that. When we're talking to someone, we see faces like this. This is what we know. You can thank me. I'm keeping you out of memory care.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. So what you could do then is you draw the straight line, that contour line, and then poke the nose out. Or we can't turn Mark upside down, but you're drawing, you turn it upside down. Because there's a thing when we see a human, we know what it looks like. But when we turn it upside down, all of a sudden it's no longer a human. It's basically shadow shapes. So you're short wiring your brain wants to shortcut, take the shortcut and draw what, oh, I got this. I know what a face looks like. And and when you guys are doing this, can you feel pressure? Where do you feel pressure in your head? Is it up here? Is it here? Where do you feel pressure?
Mine is
It's in my
But-
toes.
above my eyebrows.
Right
before-
into here.
I guess.
Oh, you're carrying stress. So when I'm thinking, when I do this, I feel this going on in my brain, right up here. Your brain is a muscle. Your brain is a muscle, and you're exercising your muscle. So you want to feel this gentle yoga rotation up here because you're seeing, and maybe it goes down through here. But this part of your brain should feel tired. That's right now because well, it probably is because if you're holding your brain, drawing what you think you see, you're gonna resist. You know, it's like when you're lifting weights and you're resisting your body. But you know, if you allow it to just relax, and then you're gonna feel this. Okay, the nose isn't doing what I think it should do. Take a breath, relax, and just draw what you see. Draw what you see. No overthinking. And the quick measures that I have you do, you know, like just do those quick measures. So look at your drawing. Is the ear toward the back? You know, it's toward the back. And I'm thinking by memory now, is the mouth, are the facial features spread out? Or do they go third to, he had 4 units. So these are just some quick measures. You don't have to adjust it. Is the nose popping off the chin and poking beyond the face? Is that doing that? Because here's another tip or important part is, you know, we do drawings and we're like, something's wrong with it, but I don't even know what's wrong with it, you know, but when you can do a drawing and then you come back and look at it, you can see, oh, I know what's the problem. There's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power in that because if you can see it, then you can fix it or rework it. And some stuff isn't meant to be perfect. A lot of it stuff that I do, it's, you know, overworking it to the point of destruction and then pulling it back. But you're learning as you're learning. And it's amazing. You know, I'm doing these little watercolor cards for a class. And I'm like, oh God, I don't want to paint these. And I'm like, wait, this is kind of fun. And then I do it and I get it and finish it. Oh, this ugly setup. I'm like, oh, that's pretty. And then I do another one, I hate it, and then it starts to get better, you know, because I'm not used to doing watercolor flowers. But it's all part of being an artist. You've heard artist struggle, right? That's part of the struggle. And I do these drawings before I teach them with you because this is my struggle. Because every portrait I do pretty much are looking straight. Every once in a while I do, like the dancing couple. So I'm feeling your pain. That helps. Okay, ready? Any comments? We've done a lot of teaching already. What's the top takeaways? What are you thinking?
So when you do shading on it, I'm thinking, my question is, when you do shading, do you try to keep it all on the same angle?
Yeah. Yes.
You do?
Shading, a shadow is a shape. And it conforms to the object that you are working on. So a shadow it doesn't just lay flat on your face, it falls on your face. So if your face is tilted and you've got a shadow on it, the shadow will tilt with the face. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I noticed like on my nephew, I did a lot of shading, but did lit up and down. Then I did this way. Then I did that way.
Oh,
Do
and
you
you
try
mean,
to keep it all on the same angle?
And the
so
angle of
there's
you do it on the contour of whatever it is you're drawing.
yeah, when I do shading, I feel like I'm moving my hand around the object. Um, there's a couple different ways. yes to all of that. All of that is good. What you just said. Some artists they cross hatch in the same direction. When I'm laying in value, I go in the same direction, only because it's easier to blend it. When I'm doing, so let me show you. Would that help? Is anyone else struggling with this a little bit on shading, how to do it, or would this help everyone? I think it'll help everyone.
That helped me.
Help you. So with like I've got this shape right here. So if I'm getting ready to, I want to make this one piece of value, I'm trying to think what to work with. I go in the same direction. If I want it to be one piece of value. And the reason I go in the same direction like this, it's easier to get it smooth. And if this is the under, like this is a darker part, this is a lit part, this is a darker part. I want a foundation of value, all the same value. If I want to darken the area, I go like that. Now, if I want to show that it's moving across the form like a shadow, then I go dark and then I start lifting up and pulling it. So I feel like I'm going down, I'm pushing down below, I'm cupping up. So my pressure, my hand is varying.
What was the statement you made right to explain that? You said, if I'm wanting to so and so, I don't know. Didn't understand you.
If I wanted to show like a form, like I start with a flat value,
Right.
but I want to show that it comes into the light from dark to light. So this
Oh,
is how I put the value down. I smooth it out. Now I have a structure. Now I have the value shape. But now I want to show that this side is lit and this side is dark. So then I use my fine charcoal and this is dark and it comes up lighter. So I lift my hand. So I'm pushing and I lift the pressure on my hand up.
and in this case, you're going with the shape of the object instead of earlier you had not quite hatch marks, but you
Yeah,
were going in straight directions as opposed to the shape that you have.
yes, yes. Because the reason is because I wanted to lay down a piece of value and I want it nice and flat. If I'm going and scribble like this, to make it flat, it's very difficult,
Mm-hmm.
especially with pencil.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to say this is a dimmer, a midtone, I find the middle of the midtone and then I darken it. Then I go on the contour of the object. I just did a lesson in the class with the basket. So I just did this. And we didn't actually draw the basket. We laid in value on the shadow side, darker, and dimmer, a mid-tone on the lit side. And I literally just took my kneaded eraser and I would take my finger and roll it over around the edge because it's not a straight edge. And then I'd take my eraser and then I'd come up and I'd pull it from the light to the dark. So I was constantly pushing and pulling, lifting, and just lifting. But I'm going in the contour of the basket. I press harder and then lighter. So you can barely, and I'm working in the lit side, I'm barely touching my finger. When I'm working in the dark side, I'm pressing into it, both with my Vine charcoal and my eraser and my finger. Yes, you can use hash marks and scribble marks. Some artists will do that to show value with pencil. They close, they don't like it smooth. They put hash marks, which I'm not really schooled at that, but you can look at creating I know I'm looking at this. Look at how much form is in that. Do you see how it's like moving? And it was just a scribble and a smear and then a push and a pull. And you can get so much can come out of that. Did that answer your question?
In May, I'm leaving my little part-time job at home.
I can't hear her.
I can't hear you, Michelle.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I thought somebody else was
Oh my
talking.
gosh, it sounded like you.
It sounded like you, Michelle.
It was
So
There was nobody else talking, I don't think.
it was a recording.
It was
So,
me.
okay. So I'm shading a face. Do I
Yeah.
want to go in different directions, or do I want to stay all in the same, like movement of your pencil back and forth or up and down? Do you want to stay all in the same?
Um,
Do you understand kind of what I mean?
yeah. And I haven't really thought about it. When I shade, I do this. I'll just do it what I do. When I shade, I usually go on a like this on a or I lay in that.
Because your purpose is to lay in value
Right. And then
material.
I'm just laying material down. And then because this is one shape of value right here, right? And then I can come in and go build it up and get darker.
But you're not contouring the cheek in this example.
Not
You're
right.
laying
This
more.
this is a beginning.
Okay.
This is a beginning. And then I'm using my thing here. And then when I start laying in value that I'm starting to build out the form, then I start pulling and pushing. But do you see how all of a sudden I slow down and I start moving? Like I feel like I'm touching her face. So I think for that, whatever feels comfortable for you, um, whatever feels comfortable. And this feels I feel like I have more control on this if I pet her face. So I lay in just that initial value and then you start petting and pulling. And there's so often that we'll go in and see, we'll see this value right here and we'll come in here. Let me put this is in shadow. So this is all in shadow. This is dimmer than the lit side. That's the brightest. Here's a chin. And a lot of times what we'll do, we'll see this and open our eyes and well, that's light. So then we'll do this. But do you see how it sticks out?
Yeah, it does.
It's not light. It's mid-tone. It's a lighter mid. This is darker right beside it. And so I'm indicating that there's something there by making what's beside it just a little bit dimmer. Do you see how you get a sense of it being there? But it's it's not as bright as that. And then I start doing this. I'm getting really thoughtful about where I'm putting stuff. And things are getting a little bit shorter. I'm not doing those broad strokes anymore. Now I'm starting to find the form. And then this is all dark. So then I'll come in here and I'll just lay in the value. Not right here on the edge, but into the back part. And then I start pushing it back. And if it becomes too, I look at the screen, it looks like a mess, so then I just knit it together. So I do that just to pull it, because I want it all to go together before it was too messy, too sporadic, too chaotic. Then I use material to pull into her forehead. Ah, can you feel it? Doesn't it feel nice? See how quick that work comes out?
It's fast.
And then for Michelle, you like to put these lines, these beautiful lines. Then you can come in and then you can do that. You can get it. And literally, I keep using, I don't know why I use the word literally whenever I do this. I've got my finger and just kind of trailing, kind of like those, what is that game? A spirograph or
Yeah, it's paragraph.
and then when you get into the features, you want to be, a little bit. So it isn't just a solid line. I tap it back. I tap it because now I'm getting really small. And when I do this, do you see it? It's like chop, 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 chop. And then the eraser.
Boy, Michelle, it looks like a real eye.
But did you see how much I did?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, I'm not laboring over it. I just do a little stroke. Because this right here is dark. Do you see that? Comes down. Tap, 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 tap. And then this little highlight is boop. So you gotta do that. Tap, 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 boop. And then you just go back and forth. Do you see me going back and forth? Take too much, add a little bit more. This back here, it's a little bit lighter. It's not as dark as that. And you got to remember, I've done this before
Many times.
many times. And you can do it too. Literally. You all can do it too. And when you do it, you're going to do it your own way. You're going to figure out your own way. And it's almost like putting makeup on. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm
Yeah,
just,
but I don't do makeup, so it's.
Or I.
Tom has the worst part.
I don't put
I'm
makeup.
gonna have to start next week and see how it feels.
There you go.
Well, I'm with Tom. I don't use makeup.
Have your wife play with you, Tom,
There you go.
and have her not put makeup on you. But oh, this could be fun to do for you, Tom. Now I'm becoming a marriage counselor.
All right.
You know what would be fun is
What?
to have her like you sit come on a sec. There. Have her have you sit down and have her use her fingers on your face or maybe even the brushes and stuff. Not actually put makeup on, but just act like she's putting it on. And then you can feel what it feels like on the face.
Yeah.
How you'll feel her hands putting this on, the whatever the stuff is, rouge, and how she brushes the powder on. And because when and I don't wear a lot of makeup, but when I'm doing it, I would, the girls, I would put mascara on them, in their eyes and stuff, and just feel that motion on your face. And that's what you're doing to your drawing. This is a person. This is how you get the likeness of the person. You treat the flat piece of paper as if you're touching, in your mind, you feel yourself touching a face, not a piece of paper, but you're touching that face. And did you see how my strokes were big and broad and I was pushing the material and all of a sudden it got down to smaller? Tip, 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 tip. And it's really about, and I'm sounding like a broken record. It's really about getting those big pieces of value, flat as a pancake. And then you can slow down and start breaking apart or making it smaller, darker shapes. And you saw how quickly the eye came out. But did you see me drawing any of that corner stuff or any eyelashes? Did you see any of that?
Mhm.
It was just that dark area. Here, I'll show it again. So describe it.
Like eyelashes, but you didn't really put them on there, but it did look like eyelashes to me.
So what I did with that is there's a dark line here. And then do you see how I'm like poking? I'm putting my finger down, I'm flipping it up and down, flipping it up. And you have to be careful about going all the way around because it sticks out, doesn't it?
I'm Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
I look forward to cleaning for you guys.
Me too.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Had company.
That was fun. She sounds like fun. So do you see how I put it on and I pop it off? I tickle it.
And you're doing vine charcoal,
I'm doing vine charcoal.
my nemesis.
I know you can do it with pencil. You could do it with pencil. It just, like I said, the only problem with pencil is our brain gets to this, let's see. Mark's eyes are similar. So, to Lauren's. So if you do it with pencil, same thing you want to do. Okay, pencil's fun too. But do you see how I'm laying that material on?
Yeah.
And then where's my need eraser? When you do this, you don't want to do a dark, dark line because it's hard to get rid of it. So then you're really gonna have to rely on the pressure of your hand. So you can go a little bit darker. And then I just wiggle. Here we go. I wiggle my pencil where fine charcoal, I could lift it. Pencil, I wiggle it. And then I come down and I break it to create that line versus a solid straight line.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yep.
And then here, I'm just, okay, I'm putting Lauren's face on Mark's face. Here, it's darker. Comes around the eye. I get lighter. I wish you all can hear this. So I'm just kind of mapping it or feeling around the face. I'm pushing super hard because pencil and the paper that I'm using. This is like corduroy pants.
Mhm.
And this eye is not as bright as that. But this value, do you see how dim, if you squint, how dim that is? Oh, that's pretty dark in that area. So I can't have any light over here. And it's a little bit dimmer over here. So, and the eye is too dark. So I just tap, 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 pull, pull, pull. There we go. Tap, tap, pull. So that's kind of what's going on. But if I say, oh, look, there's this light area here, and I go like this, like what happens? It just, all of a sudden that becomes a star, but I want the eyes to be a star, not this eyelid. So then I just push it back. I'm pushing pretty hard. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Which is why Vine charcoal is
Fine
Is-
charcoal is a delicate material. If I put a piece of paper or anything on this, it will just lift right off. So with fine charcoal, you have to adjust now you get to slow down and pet it. Pencil, aggression. Fine charcoal, softer. Just a lighter touch.
You know what you said about not going around the eye so dark.
With the pencil?
So I would think the image you have now of your daughter is not going to explain the point I'm trying to make, but a chin. And to be honest, I'm going back to the drawing I had of Sierra, and I'm not saying for you to go back to it, but I realized that when I drew the whole, the around the bottom of the whole chin, it showed like a line instead of showing like a shadow or whatever. And the line showed too much, just like the line showed too much around the eye. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I went with the eraser that's on the middle one. I went with the eraser and I blotted it some. It's actually not showing in the picture that you're putting on the screen right now. Only her eyes are showing. Yeah, even then there's still a line, but I erased it somewhat with an eraser because it was so. When I took a photo of it, I could see it more than when it was in front of me.
So what you do there, because on the photo, that's what it looks like. It looks like a line, right? But what's missing, what I would do with yours, and there's a couple things that you could do there. Right now, is it Vine charcoal or pencil?
It was pencil. Mhm.
Um, so right now it's underneath it to be,
To shade underneath it.
yeah. So the reason this looks like an outline, and this sounds kind of counterintuitive, like, wait, what? So this looks like an outline because here, let me go into another piece of paper. Okay, I'm Mark. I could do it with Mark. If I do this, it looks like it's an outline, right?
Yeah.
And the reason it's an outline is because both sides of the line are hard edged.
Okay.
That's why it looks like an outline. But I could take the same line and just soften the edge on one side.
Oh, you're not touching the line itself?
Well, I am, but I'm just softening the edge on the one side by dimming it down.
So that it's not a hard edge.
So it's not a hard edge.
Okay.
So I'm creating a line. One side is a hard edge and the other side is a softer edge.
Okay, so so you wouldn't have a reason to soften the top edge too?
Well, right now it's pretty dark. What I would do is I would just dim down underneath her chin. Like right here. I would add some value right here.
Mhm.
Take this out because it doesn't help. If I were sitting, I would say, okay, let me in the driver's seat, and this is what I would do. I would start right here where you have this. And your paper may not allow you to do this. So, but let's assume that it's on like this type of paper, not the meat temps. But if I were sitting here, I would come in, I would take a clean pinky, I would touch it right here on this little worm of value right here. Do you see this?
Yeah.
I would take it, I'd set it, and I'd drag it straight down. I would pull it down. And I would go up here, all this area right here, or I'd pull it like this.
Uh-huh.
And then because even under her lip, you have it too light. So if I were saying, I'm like, okay, let me in the driver's seat, I would just come through here and maybe gently, not super hard. I would just I would tickle it, I'd give it some love, and I pull it down into the neck. And then what I would do is I take my pencil, and the neck is a little dimmer because it's underneath the face pops off. So then I would come in with just these gentle little, like this. I'm just doing these little rings, like I'm not doing it really hard, but I'm just barely this much value.
Mm.
And I would make it darker down here, dimmer, not darker, but dimmer. Just one step of value. Put this down, pull it down, give it some love, darken this a little, dim this down a little bit.
Mm.
But the outline is showing because it's too hard of an edge.
Yeah. I forget about those terms, hard and soft edge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that just takes some practice. Just if it looks like a line, a couple things you could do. If it looks like a line,
Uh-huh.
then you could take your knead eraser and puff it up, kiss it up, break it up.
Mm-hmm. That's actually what I did to get as far as what you see now.
Okay, then you need to, the next step will be adding value down here and darkening it. Give her chin and her jawline. Give it some love. Just dim it down a little bit because the light's coming here. So the light up here is brighter and the light down here is the face falls back under the light. So this gets a little dimmer. And then the neck shadow, the neck is underneath the chin, the jawline. So that gets a little dimmer.
Dim.
So does that all make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I find it interesting that you're saying dim versus dark.
Yeah, if I say dark, what happens? Black.
Oh, so you soften it by saying dim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, if I said, okay, darken it up, what are you going to do? Black.
black.
Especially with a heavy.
That's harder to do with a pencil than with charcoal, what you're explaining.
Yeah, and really with a pencil, I would really take your time, slow down, and don't go as dark as you can. Because it's hard to make a dark pencil lighter. It's easier to make a light pencil darker, making graphite. So just slow it down. And did you see how I would do that? I would do like just little circles, and just give it some love and just start layering more and more material on. And I'm talking to one person in particular that tends to have a heavy hand.
Who's that?
I don't know that person.
Who's that?
The student that's way in the back of the classroom.
And the one,
Listen,
and this one over here.
who wants to get to the finish line fast. All right. Well, when you're learning, what happens when we go fast when we're first learning how to drive a stick shift?
Correct.
We either
So-
wreck or we tear up a transmission or
Exactly. And when we're beginning, have you all done shading before or values? I mean, this is pretty new to you all, right? Or maybe you did it, but then you got bored with it and like, okay, I'm going to do it, but fast. With the face, you need to slow it down, slow the roll, and enjoy the process and put the time in. And rip up some paper, have your paper rip on you. But whatever you're doing now, every time you go into it, and if you feel yourself speeding up or you feel your brain start to tighten up or you're feeling a lot of pressure right here, you're overthinking. Walk away, relax, come back. What does it need? If it's too dark, lighten it. If it's too light, darken it. Start playing with it.
Thank you.
This is fun.
How do you know when you're done with a painting or a picture?
Never.
I know.
When
How
you
can you
feel
say-
done. When you feel done. When you can look at it and say, wow, I'm good. And I'm telling you, I've done work and I thought it was done. And I come back into it. I'm like, you grow and you're like, oh, I can play in that. Artwork is never done until you sell it.
You're right. I'm done when I start noodling it. Did you hear what Marilyn said? When you're getting your micro glasses on and you're looking at this and you're like this and you feel your nose almost touching it, you're getting ready to drool, that's an indication of stop. Yeah.
Another indication is, oh, wait, just one more. I just have to go in and touch this and do something. Stop.
Stop.
That's when you need your friend to say, put the brush down, Michelle.
Yep.
Because you lose that. I was just talking to a student, well, she's my sister, and she had this cute little bird. She can't draw, she's drawing now. And she had this cute little bird, its personality, tongue showing. Well, she went and fixed the beak. And I'm like, where's the tongue?
Yeah.
She took out that gesture, that immediacy, that thing that was making it adorable, and she made a perfect beak. And she made it
Oh,
static.
really?
Yeah.
So when you're going, well, I just need to, I'm like, right now is not the time for you to judge your work. Right now is time for you to play.
Mhm.
Which is hard in portraiture because
Yeah, it
we
is.
all need that structure. My work is getting better because I understand the Z. My work is getting better because I know I could use this form and put it. And I'm looking at my work and like, whoa, that was fast.
Mhm.
Because I took a little time to do some quick measuring, not to make myself perfect, but just a little time to say, okay, here's where it's at. Here's where because somewhere I've got my pre and after. Yeah. Cool stuff.
But it's true though, like when I'm drawing something that I really love drawing, I'm playing. But when I stop playing and I start looking like, that's time to stop.
You start doing this, and that's not
Yeah.
quite right.
You're ruining it. Yeah, you're ruining it.
You're taking away that initial gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that's when you get up and do laundry.
It's good to know that with all the time spent on drawing, I can still do laundry.
You can still do. Nancy, Tom, your friend Nancy,
Yeah.
she does that. She'll put a load of drying. Marilyn, you know Nancy. She'll do her drying, and when the buzzer goes off, then that means she needs to take a break.
Yeah. We're going out with them
Another
tonight.
load.
What?
Huh?
We're going to go out with them tonight. We
Oh,
hadn't-
tell her say Marilyn and Michelle say hello.
Okay. I will tell them.
Yeah, that's or set a timer. Sometimes you can get so lost in it, but when you're feeling angst and you're doing more erasing than drawing, that's time. No,
Time.
that's get away
Yep.
from the drawing.
Yep.
Step away. You're finished. The beautiful thing, Michelle, is an artist can decide when it's finished. You can decide. And if you're not sure, you're just not ready for the next step yet. Or you drop in right now, you're in this class, drop in the group, say, am I finished? What do you see? Tape it to a wall, set in a spot, walk away, come back, look at it. What do you see? Does it feel right?
My trick is I take a picture of it and post it on the computer. Not necessarily, final post, but to post it on the computer, and you'd be surprised what you see from the photograph that you don't see when you're sitting in front of your easel.
Yes. Photographs compress.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at it, we're looking at the details, and we're like our faces, and we're seeing all the details and all the imperfections. Photographs compress it,
Yeah.
and then you see it the way other people see.
Like I've posted stuff and went, the heck, it looks like I got a fingerprint there. But I don't see it when I'm looking at it,
Yeah, that's that. It's this constant stretching, right? The big view, the close view, the structure and getting everything just right to the opening of an intuitive play. So it isn't just one and done. It's this compression and expansion that you're constantly working through. Can you feel it? It feels good to do that.
Yeah.
If you're just sitting in constant pressure on yourself, you're not going to have fun. If you're flying all over the place, you can have fun. And maybe that's not what you show other people, but you allow yourself just to quick draw.
Mhm.
And that gets you ready. That's a warm up for you to slow down, get the energy up, slow down. What am I seeing? Let me start 4H pencil or light 6B. Just kind of lay in. Where are the eyes? Where's the structure? It works.
When using pencil, then like back to, excuse me, my most recent example, 6B, I use 6B all the time.
I do too.
Oh,
8B.
okay. 'Cause
Actually,
thought
I
you
use
were gonna
8B.
say but less to go to 2B or HB. No, okay.
Okay. I'm a lazy artist. I don't like a bunch of tools and I lose them. So then I'm spending time. I want to hold a pencil in my hands. I use 8B and I know where it's at because it's in my hand, right? The minute I incorporate another object, I'm doing, okay, where is it? And when you're in that zone, you don't want to be searching for your stuff. You want to have it. So I'm learning to use the 8B pencil is what I use. And I learned how to use the pressure of my hand really light. And what I like about it is even if I draw super light, when I start to blend it, it disappears. If I use a 4H pencil, it doesn't disappear as easily.
It's too hard, right?
It's too hard. And so I just use one pencil. You gotta remember to sharpen it. One tool, then I don't have to lose it. Because I get so into it and then I don't like being disrupted. And it sucks when you disrupt yourself, right?
Or when you drop your charcoal on the floor and you have to stop everything to find it.
That happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
And it's gotta be that charcoal piece, that piece of
Yeah,
vine
because that's the
charcoal.
one I like.
They all change, right? Okay. So let me grab my stuff. What I wanted to show you all. So are you guys ready for the lesson?
Yes.
I have searched, I think, all my emails under different names of Walker and Michelle and my face. Well, I can't find that picture you sent.
Oh, you should have hollered. You should have hollered,
Oh,
Nancy.
I didn't know I was missing it until this, until you said we're gonna do this. So can you resend it or tell me what date you sent it? Because I thank you, Carolyn, but
I'm connecting on Facebook right now. And then I'm gonna drop it.
You should have said something, Michelle. I could have sent it to you. Not Michelle, Nancy.
I didn't remember because I got too tied up with Sierra over here that I totally didn't remember that I was supposed to print this picture. Thank you though. I appreciate it. I'll try to remember for the future.
Let's see. I'm trying to find it now.
Do you want me to send it to her?
If
I
it's on your, I'm going to put it in our Facebook group. You can. Then she can have it on her phone too. No. And I'll have it up on the screen too. Okay, there. I sent in the the chat group.
Thank you. I have it.
You got it?
Yes, thank you.
And then let me do this. And let me, I'm thinking out loud right now. Where is it? Okay. I gotta remember what I did.
Oh, I don't have Facebook chat. There it is.
Okay, we'll get started on this today. It's about 12:30, so we'll get started on it and then talk through it, maybe get started in drawing, then we'll work on this next time. Or you can play with it. So I'm having troubles with my, it's like you're doing art and all of a sudden you got to do something else and your brain goes, it just falls apart. So I can remember what I did with it. All right.
She's beautiful, your daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, both the girls are sweet girls. She takes photos so well. She was a ballerina and did some acting. She taught ballet. Okay, do I have the right image? No, I don't.
I don't
I don't, sorry.
Same one I have.
This
love-
one.
Okay.
Okay, we're looking at this photo. I did the same with the other. Here we go. Okay, the Z. Let's talk a little bit about the Z on here. When you squint down, what really pops out is right here. This to me pops out. And I caught this little angle of the nose right here. So the Van Dyke Z goes right here to here to here. And, I talked a little bit about this, how this angle from the outside corner of the eye down to the mouth And I know I wanted to test this with you guys, but maybe the next time. I think this angle from the corner of the eye down to the mouth is going to be different for all of us. Because my mouth is smaller than Mark's, so my angle from the eyes to the mouth is going to be a steeper angle than Mark. Mark, he has a wider mouth. So this is unique to her. And the thing about this, between the corner of the eyes to the corner of the mouth, this poly, I can't speak math and English at the same time. Okay, this shape right here, this is where the facial features fall on this head. There is a tendency for all of us, we all do it, to want to spread this out, to drop the mouth down to here. There's this tendency to want to do that. And there's another tendency to want to put the facial features in the middle of the head, even though this is a near profile.
Mhm.
This is almost a profile, but we see just a little bit of the side of her face.
I think that's the hardest angle to do.
This one's really difficult.
Mhm.
But when you do this, and that's what I did on this drawing is I did that. I lost it because I demoed on it. But I have this shape. Do you see that? Here's the Z. And then here's the polygon. There we go, polygon. Call it that. And then the ear is back here.
Had you ever considered identifying both Z's?
I did. In fact, I did that on this one. Because she has a Z here. And then here's another one. Look at that one.
I would think that's a help.
Both did help. They did. You want to go with, when you squint your eye down, like on this one, which Z do you see first?
The one on the right, big time.
That one. And that's what's going to make this look like Lauren.
Okay.
This will get your likeness, because for Lauren, no one else has this shadow shape. This is unique to her. So this shape right here is unique to her. And then, but I went ahead and did that. Sorry, flipping around here. So I did that on this one. I thought, okay, if I try to just sit down and draw this, I'm like, oh my gosh, where is it? Because now it's a 3/4, a little bit more of the cheek, and look at that cheek, how it pops. So it's very round, but her head is tilted just a little bit this way. Do you see
Mhm.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we've got, this gets crazy, right?
Yeah.
So here I've got the Z, and then I put the nose in, this Z over here in the light. Do you see that?
Mhm.
And then I did the angle. Here's from the eye to there. Before I did that, I had to locate the eye, this top line first. I had to locate that first. This top one's first. And then I did some measurements from the Z from here to here to get that distance. And I got the width of the eye. So I measured to get these from the top of the Z down. So I measured to find this location, because everything's going to pivot off this, right?
Yeah.
Then I found this angle. Then I found the distance, and this is a sacred distance from here to here. That's one of the units. And then I found this distance because her head's tilted under, so this gets smaller. So I started doing these quick measures, and then I found to the mouse. So then here's the bottom of the polygram, poly whatever. Wonky square. I'm going to call it wonky square. And then here's this.
Wow, look at that. Yeah.
And once I did that, and then everything, the cool thing about that, so it's this one. Once you get this in, now you can see how far the cheek pops away from this line. Now you can start to see how far things pop. Now you can see how far, now it becomes easy because here's the shadow. And now I'm looking here to this line right here, and I'm gauging these distances off that line. And what I did is I put this drawing on top of this to see how close I was. Just to see. Okay, let's go back to this one. So what I did here in my studio is I took a whiteout, you know, those pen whiteouts, this. And on my photocopy, I laid ruler on it, straight edge, and I drew the Z on my copy. So then I have something to work from. To draw. Let's shoot. Okay. Yeah. From here to here, across the mouth, up to here, and across the eyes. Okay, ready? How you guys, any questions? Wait, what?
Yeah, you want to come do mine for me?
What are we gonna do? I'm clueless. No.
Ask me a question.
We're gonna start directly on her as of now.
Let me have a room temperature. How are you guys feeling? Are you feeling full? Do you want me to get started on it and you watch? Do you want to try and follow along? Where are we at?
Try.
want-
Whatever everybody else wants, but I want to try.
You want to try?
Yep, I want to try.
Good enough.
I don't want to take it real far, but I'm open to doing a baseline or something.
Let's do that.
How about the others?
Yeah.
Marilyn was kind of tired today.
Yeah,
Are you-
Marilyn, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Are you okay?
Mhm.
Is this waking you
I don't
up?
have I don't have my head on the desk sleeping yet, so I'm okay. Oh, gosh.
How are we doing on time? I just need to be, my mom's in assisted living, not doing so well, so
Uh,
my
Sorry.
sister's with her. Yeah, she's 90. Mm,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. She's good. She's in good hands. She's good. So I'm
Yes.
gonna go over. Okay, piece of paper.
mhm.
Do you want to quit?
Me? No.
That was sweet of you to ask.
It is sweet. No, I'm good.
Medium of choice, vine charcoal or pencil.
Let's go with pencil.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised with that answer.
Only because we're gonna do a little bit of measuring. We're gonna start laying things out. Now, do you have a picture of Lauren that you can work from?
Yes.
In my phone, yes.
Okay.
Well, I did, and then I got rid of it. I have it on my phone, but
To get
I
rid of it.
can't keep it. I don't like I pressed the wrong thing and it got off my screen, and then I can't find it again.
That'll do it.
You mean on your, did you? Okay, I'll stay over
On
your
my
brain.
computer, I don't know. I had it the whole time, and then I just
In
pressed
cyberspace
the wrong
somewhere.
thing, and it
Do you want me to email it to you?
I've got it on my phone. I've got it on my phone. I just can't keep it up the whole time. But yeah, I'll just try to work from this.
Okay. So if you're not getting anything perfect, we'll start, okay? And we're not gonna assess it. We'll just go through it. And then that could be your homework. You can, and the reason I'm like struggling right now is I can't find my tape. Do you see? If it's not in your body, you're going to lose it, and then you're going to be struggling trying to find it. And okay, all right. So everyone agreed. We'll go through the process. It's not going to be perfect, and we're okay with that because then you can take a little time, play with it. And what I'll do is I'll make a copy. I'll send a copy of the. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I'm going to send this to you. I can share this drawing with you in the group. This is going to help everyone. There. Okay, I just sent it. It has a Z on it, so you can measure directly from that. So for now,
That's a good help. Thank you.
that's going to help you all.
How do
Cool.
we determine, like, if I have a 9 by 12 picture in front, I mean, paper in front of me, do I kind of, I misjudge and I end up filling the whole page so that the top of the hair is at the edge of the page?
That's a good question. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you what to do. Okay. So let's see. If I were going to work on a smaller piece of paper, then I take my hand and I go like this. And I know it needs to be about that big.
Okay. So I'm working off of my phone in the moment.
So off your phone, you want about the size of your hand.
Okay.
Unless if you have huge hands. Do you have big paws?
I don't have big hands.
So it's about the size of your hand.
I might.
Yeah, Tom might have bigger hands. There you go.
No, I've got little hands.
Oh, darn it.
I'm glad to hear that measurement because it's a good help. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's about like this. Not this, about like not that, but about like that. A relaxed hand.
And the
So
bottom is at the top of the wrist.
the bottom, it's about right
Oh.
here, about where your sleeve would go.
Okay, thank you.
So it's probably about right here. And then just like I say, I don't use the word black because or make it darker because then it turns black. With this is just a rectangle to keep you on the page. It has to stay in there. Okay.
Okay, and then but you did being all anal here. Like because she has a blouse that's showing as opposed to my niece, I lost her blouse. So that hand is covering everything we see in that picture.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's a direct measure. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And don't draw on the center of your page. Paper, don't draw over here, over there. Put it in the center. Give yourself some room. Okay, so let's start with a Z. And I always start, I just make a little X like right here at the top. And that would be this point of intersection right there. And then the angle, let's see. For some reason. Then the angle, here's 3 o'clock. It's about 2:30. So it's about like that. Check it. I'm going to start whining again. I lost my angle on my paper set. I have a easel here that can. Here we go. I'm going to draw darker so that you can see it. You're drawing light. So check it. Close your non-dominant eye. Check it on your phone. It should be like. Then we want to go down the length of the Z. Here's a vertical. If that's vertical, do you see how it's, there's 6, 7, about 7:30. So go ahead and draw it. What I do is I draw it and then I check it. And then you adjust it. I always tell, it's like a drawbridge. So if you think of this as a drawbridge, it's not flat. I don't know if that would help or not. Okay, everyone breathe. There's a tendency to want to do this. So it's not 6 o'clock. It's not 9 o'clock. It's about maybe 7:30. All right. Now the length. When you have, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do it on your phone. The length of it, and even when I do this, my angle isn't steep enough. So tell you what, whatever length you put, let me mark mine. So I'm going to capture it. I'm going to mark it. It's right here. So you're finding the tip of the nose, that length right there. And I'm just going to measure it so I could tell you all. It measures about 1.5. Yeah, it measures about 1.5 inch. About 1.5 thumbs. And that can, whatever size you do, it's all right because then that becomes 1 unit. So whatever, as long it's not this long, it's not this short, it feels like that. All right, let's do this part of the Z going into the shadow on the nose. So again, I lift it, I find it, I draw it, I check it. Is it angled enough? No. There's something in Michelle's head that whenever I have an angle drawing horizontal, everything goes horizontal. if I'm painting and trying to draw an angle painting, I literally turn my painting, 90 degrees and draw a vertical angle because my body does angles on verticals, not on horizontals. So make your tools work for you. If you struggle with something, turn your drawing. And then let's do this little kick up right here, this little part of the Z right here into the light. And that is probably, I don't know, 10:30. Draw it, check it. Now that one got a little bit too steep, so I'm just going to adjust it. Adjust it and erase it. And then look at it. Not the face, but at your line. Does it feel right? The whole face will hinge around this. And this is where I would say, take a little time to measure. Spend just a little bit of time to measuring. I'm going to measure this line, the bottom of the Z that goes into the shadow, which is the tip of the nose to the nostril, outside the hubcap of the nostril. Shoot. My measure is running into something right here. And then I just do little marks so that I've got this line. And the nose into the light, the bottom of the Z into the light is just maybe, gosh, 3/8 of an inch. It's not very long. How are we
You're
doing?
1-to-1 ratio, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm 1-to-1 ratio. I'm just lifting it from the photograph onto the paper. And trust me, what's going to happen with you, this helps you become more accurate in your drawing and what you see. It's a little time consuming, but you really gain a sense of angles and distances and those relationships. And if I'm going to measure this up to her eyebrow, goes about right there. So any little piece of information that you can get off this is good. How we doing? I'm just going to check here because we know that this is 1 unit, right? From the nose to the brow. From the bottom of the nose to the brow is 1 unit on the face.
How do we, oh, we know that from the initial training. Okay.
Yeah, remember on the standard head?
On the eyebrow to the bottom of the nose.
Yeah, that's 1
The
unit.
bottom, that's the tip of the nose.
Well, you just pick. It just, with Lauren, I'm just picking from here down to there.
Okay.
And how does that relate to here? So once you pick something and you're like, okay, this is what I'm relating everything to, then I'm just going to do, and what I know, this is 1 unit from the bottom of the nose. Here, I'll do it at the nostril where it hits the face. So from the bottom of the nose to the eyebrow, and that's easier to do. If I drop it, look at that. It goes down to her chin. You see that?
No. Goes down to her chin? What do you mean?
Right here.
If you drop it.
Yeah, watch.
Right.
I capture it. I get that distance from her brow to the bottom of her nose, her nostril, this distance from here to here. I lift the pencil or my measuring stick. I put the top at the bottom of the nose, and look, I'm touching the bottom of her chin.
From this angle, you're past the chin, but okay. No, that angle, I see it. Thank you. So then that's going to tell me where the chin is.
Yeah, do you see that?
Okay.
So let's try it. Let's go from the brow, grab it here. Let me do it so that y'all can see it. I'm gonna snag it, I'm gonna drop it, and I'm gonna mark it. And then I'm gonna check it. So from the chin to the nose, I'm gonna grab it, snag it, lift it. Should be from this distance. From here to here is the same from there to there. And then I'm going to check this. I'm going to lift it above. So I'm going to grab it again. From the brow to the nose, I'm going to lift it. And look at that. It's at her hairline. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to come straight up. And I'm just going to make a little mark, a little indicator that this is that peak of her hairline. I'm just going to drag it over here. And I'm drawing really light at this point.
What's
So
that?
now, what?
What's that? Really light.
I just like
But then my hand gets heavier and heavier.
you're thinking. That's how you think with your hands.
Yeah.
You know, I can read your drawings. I could tell where you're struggling, and I could tell when you're forcing.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we've got the Z. We have the bottom of the chin down here, and we have where that peak is right here on her hairline. That's all the information I want on here. I don't want to put too much. I'm thinking out loud. I don't want a bunch of lines so I don't get lost. Okay, next step. We have to find this eyeball in relationship. And this gets a little bit funky because we're working off lines. So again, this is all just kind of a whatever you decide to land on, then do that. And I'm just kind of thinking it's easier for me to see this point right here than it is to see this.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to capture, I'm going to go straight across. And once you have a photocopy, you'll be able to do this. But I'm going to grab it, snag it, bring it over, and mark it. And this is where it gets just a little bit funky because we're working off an angle, right? But I'm going to go from the corner of the eye up to the brow. And I'm going to drop it in.
What are you dropping in?
This corner from here to here.
Oh, I thought you did that a minute ago. Okay.
I did the width from the nose to the right.
Okay.
And then you do the width and the horizontal.
Okay. Excuse me.
So you go along the X and the YZ. And then you check it. And I like to do double checks and stuff. So I'm going to go from the corner down to the nose, the nostril. Okay, I've got a big problem here. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to go from the nose. I might be causing myself problems here.
The nose, that's the line of the Z.
The nostril. Okay, I got it. It's a little bit low. It's close enough. Do what? Yeah, the nostril, the bottom of the
Oh, the
Z.
nostril. Oh, the bottom. Okay.
So if I just run a line over, and here you got to be really careful, but I want you to see what I'm doing when I'm going back and forth like this. I'm capturing the bottom of the nose. I'm going over to get the corner of the eye. And then same over here.
Does anybody else see that, or is it just me that's missing it?
Where are you missing?
Well, I want to know if I'm the only one.
Okay.
Well, I see like a big, the shadow of her nose goes so far over that her eye doesn't start. I
Right.
can't explain it.
Well, I hear that better than I hear what Michelle is saying.
Okay. So I'm finding this random little dot in this space on this paper. But it's better. What Michelle was talking about is how she's looking at how the it lines up to the nose. Is that what you're looking at, Michelle?
Looking at that shadow right there
Right there,
on her, no, above her, oh, that goes straight up to her eye, the corner of her eye.
right here.
Yeah, it's the shadow extends way out, so the eye doesn't start until.
Uh-huh. So then when Michelle is talking about the bottom of the nose and she's putting the ruler on the bottom of the nose
Oh,
and
what I'm
then talking about the the line up top, I don't see the relationship.
oh what I'm doing is I'm doing a check, but if that you don't have to do that if that's confusing. Like
Well,
I'll
well,
do little checks to see
it's
how.
good. I just didn't understand it.
Oh, okay. I do checks to see if this is this distance from here down to the bottom of the nose. This distance.
You were measuring that distance using a horizontal line.
Oh, I did that so that you could see what I'm doing. The way I do it is I snag it and drop it, go over like this. Which I'm visually what I'm doing is I'm putting my thumb at this horizontal line and going across. But that's so, but that's ignore that. Ignore that. So we went to the nostril here and the shadow, oh, it comes out a little bit. Then I think, Michelle, what you're talking about. Oh, actually, if you run this line up here. Okay, let's stay with the game. All right, so we've got this corner, the outside corner of her eye. I'm sorry, I was thinking out loud. I like to check and double check on how things relate to each other. But if that gets confusing, then say, hey, Michelle, you're confusing me. And that's all right.
I think if the arrow, if the ruler had been at the top, I would have followed it better than
Oh.
seeing that distance all the way from the bottom and then you're aligning it to the top. Because then I would have used a measurement going from the outer corner of her eye to the ruler that you had way down there.
There,
And
does
then
that
I could see something, but by just having the ruler down there,
on the
I
bottom? Does
couldn't.
this help right here?
Yes, that
Okay.
helped more to me. To me, I don't know about the others.
No, this is good because sometimes what I see versus what others see are backwards. So this is all good stuff.
Okay.
And then you just go straight across here. Okay. Then you want to measure the eye, the width of the eye. And I'm not going to go to the eyeball. I'm going to go out here to this corner right here. I noticed there's a tendency to want to draw the eyes little for me. So that goes about right there. And then the eye, if I go from here over to what I feel like the corner is on the eye, do you see that? So I've got my corner. It goes there. So now I go from the corner of the eye over to the other eye. I lift it, which is pretty much where there's a little break point right here where the eyeball is, and then the cheek. I come here, I bring it over here, I draw it. Okay, and I see a little problem with mine. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Do you see this distance of mine? So eyeballs up. So from this intersection point down to this top, the eye line right here, the center line. Do you see how mine is very close? But do you see how it's actually dropped down?
Yeah.
It should be more like this. So I'm gonna drop it down, and I like the angle, so I'll keep the same angle. Then I'll erase. And I was having a little bit of problem with my drawing from the nose to the corner was too long. And I went into denial, and now I check it. You see how I'm doing? Does that make sense, y'all? Give me a yay or nay.
Yay.
I
Yeah.
got caught up trying to put your picture back in my because it was in Messenger. I was looking for it in photo. So
So
I
here's
got
here's my original line right here.
okay.
And
it's
I'm
too
looking,
high.
in reality, it's actually this far apart,
Right.
but my line is too close. So I'm just going to drop it down on the nose. And then I can check, yeah, this is where it goes. And I checked it from the bottom of the Z to that point. So when I draw it and I check it, and then I look at other places that make sense to me to reference it. And then just gonna check here. Okay. Now I can find the outside of the eye by going from this point right here. I can measure here to here. So now I have the length of the top line of the wonky square, and I check it, and that measures about right. So now I have the top of that. And I think I have this angle just a bit too high, so I just dropped a little bit. There we go. Okay, how are we doing?
I feel like I'm struggling more than in the first class.
You're overthinking, just relax. What are you struggling with?
Well, it might have helped more if I had the same size photo that
Yeah,
you have. So consequently, when you're checking your measurements, I can't do that.
you can't check them. All right,
Well, not from the image on the phone because it's going to be a radically different size than what's on the paper.
okay. So I just checked something. So we got the nose length, right? And
Yeah,
the
you gave me a
across,
measure there and I could do that
and
easier.
across the eyes is a little bit longer than the length of the nose.
Okay, across the tip of both eyes.
Yes,
Outer edges of both eyes is a little longer than the tip of the nose,
yes,
the length of the nose.
yeah,
Think that could help a lot. It seems okay. So it was
yeah.
1 inches, I think, earlier.
We're just going through the process, Nancy, not for perfection. So,
Yeah, but I couldn't follow it because I understand there's a process, but the process isn't staying in my mind because my lack of ability to put it on paper in a spot that you're
Okay.
pointing to is interrupting the concept.
okay.
For me.
How's
Thank
everyone
you.
else doing? I appreciate you telling me that. Next time we're going through the process this time. Next time, have a
Yeah.
photocopy,
I will.
and then you can go through this on your own, or we can do a quick recap on the next class.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes I have this when I'm doing something new, I feel a struggle inside of myself. I'll like this feels a little bit weird. And right now we're doing something I've never seen this. This is something I discovered, and I was amazed at how much easier it made my drawing.
So when you send a picture to us by email, well, for example, you send it to us in Messenger. So for me to take it to a printer,
I'll email it to you. I'll email all this to
okay.
you.
Okay, so when you email it, you can say small, medium, or large. So then when I get it printed, I don't know if when I hit it, do I need to hit it large? It's going to come out bigger than if I hit it. I don't know how, do you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I send it to a printer and at the library. And when
Right.
I send it from email, it asks me, do I want to send it in small, medium, or large? I know I think sometimes I've done medium and sometimes I've done large, and I don't know which one to do to get what you're working with.
I think it would be large.
I do too.
Large, thank you.
You
Yeah, I
could
think
do,
it would come over the whole paper that way.
I
Yeah.
would, yeah, when I print it on my printer, I do it the size that my paper is.
So then okay, so then that
Like
would,
my paper that I'm using, I think is a 5x7.
oh,
My
oh,
paper that I'm using well, it's a 6x9, the paper I'm using. So I
oh.
make it like a 5x7 or something,
So
so
then
that
you
it's,
probably
so that
need,
it's exactly the size that I'm doing. I'm
well,
working.
and like Tom said, for the small, medium, large, this is full page, and then this is just actual size. What you could do, just print both, Nancy.
yeah, because it doesn't give me a choice to ask for actual. It just gives me small, medium, or large.
So do both. Do have a
And find
copy.
out which one relates to the piece of paper I'm drawing from.
There you go. Because you know it's not going to be any bigger than 8x10 or 8.5x11.
True. Okay, thanks to everybody. Appreciate it.
And if you do, just print it because and I'd print extras, because they're what? Are they like 20 cents now? 25 cents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I just wanted to have the right reference because here I'm starting this one. I'm going to go back to it, but I'm going to work off of a printed copy, and it might not have the same dimensions.
No, it won't. So rather than trying to get that, what you're going to do is you're just going to go through the process here
Mhm.
and you're going to start all over. with
Okay.
it
According
from
to
your,
the I have
thing.
in my hand. Okay.
Okay,
Helps you too, Michelle. I don't know. Because I know both of us are working off the phone right now.
yeah. Yeah, so just go, once you get a photocopy, and just go through the process again. And then
Okay.
that's a good thing because then you get to learn.
Okay.
You
Thank
get
you.
extra process. Or you could do it on your iPad because this is my iPad and the drawing that I sent you, and you do this and you could do that. This, I'm going from this iPad to this.
Okay. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's find, okay, her mouth. Look how this line goes. It's not quite, it's almost vertical, isn't it? Yeah. It's almost a straight line. And look how but it comes a little, it almost tweaks the point of intersection on her nose, between her nose and the bottom of the Z, and then just drop it straight down. So start at the outside of her eye in the light and drop a line down, and it's just to the right of the Z, the point of the Z. So mine goes straight down, so I'm going to tighten up her eye a little bit. Then I just drop it down. I think it's a little bit better to have this a little short than it is to have it wide. This top line, this distance from here to here, have that a little bit short versus too long. Then we can find from her bottom of her nose to her lip, this corner right down here. So you just kind of snag it and bring it over, and then I'm gonna mark it. And let me count. 1, 2. It's almost a third. So 1, 2, 3. So there's almost from here to here is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you see that?
And that's to the top of her lip.
Yeah, this corner.
And that's the corner. Yeah, I was gonna say that one. Okay.
Now we have this point right here. And
You're gonna put that on the video, right, Michelle?
yeah,
Thank you.
wait. On the video where? What video?
Like, so we can see this
The
Yes.
record.
at a
The-
later time.
Yeah, yeah, we're recording. We're good.
Good, thank you.
I might even do it like a mini video of this
Okay.
where I walk through it again. And then check this angle here. Now I put this angle. But this angle is steeper than this angle to the top. Do you see that? But me with my horizontals, I have it opposite. So I'm going to check my angles, and this one needs to be steeper. Because mouths are flat, right? But not when they're near profile. They turn. So her mouth is not horizontal. Her mouth drops down like this. I'm going to check this line. And when I checked it, I've got this one too high. This one's too steep, so I'm going to drop it down.
Her mouth is deceiving because you can't see that whole other half.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the, yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
You see this whole side and just a little tiny bit there. Do you all,
yeah.
can you,
You missed that whole side of her mouth.
it's not the whole mouth, is it? It's
No,
just a little tiny smudge. So
Oh.
this is what we're seeing, the right side of her mouth. And then measure the width of the bottom, which in relationship to everything else, let me find a relationship to give you. It goes to about right here on her nose. So if you capture that distance here, turn it. See a problem? I've got a problem here in my measuring stick. And then check it about right there. Just comes up maybe 1/8 of an inch into her nose. Turn it and drop it. But let's try something else. When you go straight up, it goes about where Michelle said, about right here. So here's a nostril, it's about 1/8 of an inch. So if I go straight up, yeah, it goes to that shadow area right here. Here's her nostril. I'm gonna check to make sure my angle. Yeah. So the distance from here to here is like the distance from here to here. No, I said the wrong word. Never mind. Ignore that. Ignore that. I get confused. Teacher gets confused too. My nose is a little bit too angled, so I have this angle too steep, so I'm gonna lift it up just a little bit. And then I have this angle from the outside corner of the eye down to the mouth, outside corner of the mouth. And then I'm gonna see how far off I am if I can do that. You can lay it on top. It's not too bad. Then can you see it? Sarah, here? Kind of. If you lay this on top of, like, tape your photocopy to the window and then lay this on, then you could check how close your wonky square is compared to this. I like to do that, not to make my drawing perfect, but it trains your eye. You're starting to train your eye to see angles and distances and transferring it. You're training your eyes to see that way. And it all relates. How do the different facial features relate to one another? Then once you have this, then you can start drawing it so easily. But we're going to stop there. Let's see. I'm going to erase the shadow, and so it doesn't confuse you. Oh, Whew, everyone needs to breathe. Okay, we're doing a check-in. Marilyn, how you feeling? Oh, Marilyn's not there. Tom, how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good.
How does your wonky square look? Your Z?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Looks wonky.
Awesome. Do you know what about it looks wonky? What feels
Yeah.
off?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yep.
That's the important part. Michelle, how you doing?
Okay, do you have to measure these things every time? That's still hard for me to, but I know, I mean, that's a learning thing I have.
The learning thing. The true confessions. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a true confession. You know, I thought about that. I thought my students just want to draw portraits, right? And you can, but you're here to get my skill,
Right.
right? You're here to learn from me. And I just wait until you see how easy it is to draw. Right now, it's a little bit of a struggle, but do I draw like this now? No. Am I going to start drawing some of this? I'm incorporating some of this into my work. Yes, because I'm getting to a sense of reality quicker. So just feel this, you're here with me and I'm helping you and supporting you and feeling the struggle. You're being honest about it. Who's struggling? Who's struggling a little bit?
I'm jumping.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I found myself jumping ship. You know what I mean by that, right?
You're giving up.
Well, what I started to do in actuality was draw on my own. I mean, I put up a number of lines, and I paid attention to you. The last
That's okay.
8 or 10 minutes, whatever, 6 minutes. You know, then I just started putting eyebrows and hairlines and
That's okay. You're playing.
trying to get more than a box, I guess.
Okay, we'll take because we're not actually going to work with this. Marilyn, I lost you. I'm going to set the timer. Okay. I'm going to show the video or this. I just want you to play with it. Like what Nancy said. Get some eyebrows on there. Start building it around this because we're going to work through this again later. So we're not going to actually use this. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Play. I want everyone to play.
You gonna put the picture back up?
I am.
Hopefully Marilyn's all right.
Yeah.
I lost her. There we go. It wasn't responding to me. Okay. Does it help? Which one's better, this or this? That's better, isn't it? Which
This-
one?
I think the second one, because you can distinguish the left side of the face more. The other one's too bright.
It's too bright.
It's a big white glob instead of her
Okay.
eyes.
There you go. Come on. Ugh. Marilyn, we're just going to take your drawing that you're working on and why aren't you working? And just play and finish it.
I'm not gonna post mine.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to share this with anyone.
No,
Just a minute.
because I was just playing with it.
Were you playing with it too?
I was just playing with it. I messed up her mouth and her chin big time, but that's okay. I'll fix it. That's why I asked you if you were going to do it again. I got too tired.
Okay, good. Nancy did too.
She did too?
Yep,
Yeah.
she did. Okay, there you go. I'll set the timer for 5 minutes.
I just wanted to grab my light box.
I know you do. I know you do.
I'm gonna
I
go.
know.
But you're here
You
to
and me
learn how
both,
to
Tom.
draw. You all are here to, I know. I'm like, do I do this? And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. You do it once, trust me, you do it once, one time, and you're going to see everything differently. Everything's going to change. It's going to impact your work
Hmm.
tenfold. Okay, you got 5 minutes. Play. Everyone just play with theirs, and you don't have to show it to anyone. You can send a sneaky peek to Michelle directly if you want.
I'm not even going to send a sneaky peek to Michelle.
I want to see these. It's not fair. Everyone send a sneaky peek to Michelle. Because what that
I
does,
I liked your husband's picture way better than your daughter's.
Same here.
Same there?
Yeah.
what I wish I could see what you're struggling with, where you're at now, and not to comment or to fix, but just to see where you're at.
I was just too tired
I know.
to do anything with it. So,
Yeah. Today was a long day. There's
yeah,
a lot of stuff that you all
yeah.
you
I'll
need.
send you Mark.
We've gone longer, but somehow, I don't know,
We
somehow.
did a lot of talking in the beginning that we
Yeah.
didn't usually do.
I'll send you Mark. Mark looks like Mark.
Oh, you're willing to share Mark now?
I'm willing to share
Yeah,
Mark.
Mark is looking good in comparison.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Me too, Nancy.
That's hilarious.
Nancy and I are used to 2-hour classes.
Oh, I know.
With a break and
With a break in between, right?
coffee and a cookie.
We appreciate your time.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely. Absolutely. We appreciate your time.
Yes.
And
yes.
if I was like not so wiped out, the stupid stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah.
I don't-
That all makes a difference.
Oh,
You're doing fine. This is something way new, trust me.
making all the diagrams on it is. I have never done that portrait with the diagrams.
You'll be
I have just
amazed
done
at
the portraits. I've just done the portraits kind of like by looking at them and holding up a pencil and, on,
right. You know why I'm doing this?
why are you doing this to kill us? No.
I'm doing it to kill you. Why I'm doing it is I'm seeing this thing with all of us of not getting the facial features here. There's this
Yeah.
tendency to do the stretching and to move it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
so
idea.
that's why I even thought about, well, wait a minute, what can we do to help you? And I do the corner of the mouth to that. I relate a lot to that. That's something that I do personally. But I thought, well, if we can get that established and everything relates to that, you're going to get to the sense of reality. So it's going to be easier, actually.
Yeah, it's the nose and the mouth. When I got down as far as the nose and the mouth, I kind of screwed it up. I messed her up. Don't ever show her the picture that we do with her.
No, don't. Yeah.
So I'm just coming in and I'm starting to actually do the drawing on her.
I think it's easier if you can see like the nose. You can't see the nose. Like you can't see the nose that's in the shadow. You can't see where that nose goes.
Yeah, it goes right here. And it really, that doesn't matter. What matters is that shadow shade.
The shading, yeah.
Yeah, then you don't have to have the nose
Because that's what I went back to do. I went back to do just the shading and see how that worked, but she looks very witchy in my paper.
Witchy.
Witchy, yeah, she does. And the mouth, I did her mouth like 5 times and I shouldn't have. I should have just left it.
Are you timing us right now?
Yeah,
Oh, what time did you even start? Is it 5 minutes or 3 minutes or?
5 minutes. You had 20 seconds.
Like, that's rude.
Keep going.
20 seconds. What were you thinking?
Keep going. I'll give you 3 more minutes.
I would have preferred Vine Charcoal, I can assure you. As opposed to Tom.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I'd had a dust of flying. This thing is stumping. It's getting so dark.
You'll have to.
Mashing my eraser on it.
Yeah, I knew you should have come and did mine for me, Michelle.
Do you see? Do you see how she's starting to?
Yeah,
How quickly she's starting to do her thing?
Well, I'm working on mine. I haven't hardly looked up at yours. I noticed one of the times when you were doing yours, maybe it was of your daughter, I found myself no longer looking at the photo and only copying what you were drawing.
That's exactly what my other class said too.
Well, because we know you got it right.
I've worked out the problem areas. Yeah.
And then I
Or
feel like I cheated. But that's my middle name, something from when I was 3 years old. So disregard that.
no, it's not cheating. That's how the masters learned. They would go to the Louvre and set up and copy the masters prior to them.
yeah.
So that's how you learn.
Oh.
You no, and you're here to oh, I'm using my silly putty to erase. You're here to learn and I'm able to work. I've already drawn this, so I'm not where you are right now, trying to figure it out. Mhm. 20 seconds.
Here we go again.
I'm not showing this.
Send it to me. I want to see.
No, I'm not going to.
Ah,
I'm sorry, I just can't.
So far, Michelle, you don't have any takers.
I'll send you
know.
mine. I'm not proud.
okay, everyone.
I'll send you mine.
I'll send individually.
Yeah,
Whatever.
don't send it to the group. Send it to Michelle. Send it directly.
I'm sorry, I
You
can't.
can send it to the
You
group.
can't.
No.
I won't make fun of it.
Well, I'm embarrassed
Why are you embarrassed?
because it's horrible.
Then let's celebrate how bad it is.
Let's celebrate how bad it is. No, that's a new one.
Oh, what a celebration.
You can do it.
Some music.
There. I sent it to the
You-
group. I'm not
You
proud.
sent
Oh,
you
listen
sent
to
to the
me.
group? Oh man, Tom bit the bullet. He sent it to the group.
I'm gonna send mine to the group. I'll be brief.
Oh, look at that.
But you guys know, you have to know that I'm not in my best of form.
It just it helps me see where you're at.
Oh, well, you can't judge me today. Well, you don't judge anyway, but
No, I don't. I'm celebrating. But Tom, look at this compared to the first ones that you did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I need to put a bone in her mouth. She doesn't look like a cave woman.
And we didn't even talk about the back of the head and the ear. We didn't even talk about that. So you're fine. It's fun.
All right, I'm really being brave. I'm being really brave.
Why is it so much fun and I'm not smiling?
They're awesome.
I like yours better than mine, Michelle.
No comparisons.
Well,
No comparisons.
just stop
But
now. Send it. Okay.
just, you know,
Wow.
look later, not today, but look at these compared to the photocopy and ask yourself, is it too stretched out this way? Is it centered? That's a big thing about this, is helping you stay on the right plane of the face. So if the face is turned, is it over here? Is it stretched, or is it over here? Is it compressed? So this, you could start to see, okay, maybe you don't have the angles right. Maybe it's too compressed. Maybe it's too round. But just the important part, the lesson here is getting the facial features in the right space, right here in the face, not over
Yeah.
here.
That's beautiful, that last one.
God, I hope I didn't put that on Facebook.
Gosh.
Nice.
Marilyn.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
Okay.
Marilyn, you did get bored. You started
I
playing.
did. It wasn't bored. It wasn't bored. It was that
Cool.
it's just that I can't go no further today.
It looks good.
I'm so glad you all are so honest with me. And if this is too much, if
This is
you
what
say,
this-
Michelle, this is too much, then we'll back out and, we could just play.
Look at mine. Mine looks like
Aren't
a
these fun?
2-year-old. Mine looks like a 2-year-old.
Let's just look at the mine. It looks like she's got about a 6-inch nose. She looks like Pinocchio's wife.
She does. And, her eye looks good position wise. You just need to lift that angle up. You got a little bit too exaggerated. That's all.
Now, who's you talking about?
Tom, it's
Come
Pinocchio.
on. Doesn't look like Pinocchio.
It does. She does
But-
look like Pinocchio.
Okay, let's look at this. Okay, you got the face to the where it's located. That's good. The nose might be a little bit too big, but the distance from the eyes to the mouth, awesome. Tom, you did it. Michelle, you're in the right plane. So you've got the face over here where it needs to be. Maybe look at that distance between the eyes and the mouth. Is that a little bit long? That seems a little bit long for me,
It's in the mouth. Okay.
from here to here. That feels a little
This
bit
looks
long.
horrible.
Huh?
I said it just looks horrible.
No, we're not looking at that. We're looking at that. We're looking, are you in the right spot? And is it stretched or is it squished? That's it.
Well, I made my nose longer because my nose wasn't that long, and then I
Oh, I
tried to
see
put her,
that.
the side of her face in, and it wasn't going right.
What you start with looks closer to, it looks closer. There's this thing about wanting to make nose long. You heard me say Mark's nose, I always want to make it longer.
Mhm.
Just embrace it. I tend to make the noses long. I know it. I make the long nose too long. I see it. I adjust it and I go on. Do you hear what I just said?
Yes.
Yes. Go on.
Tendency, own it, fix it, and move on. And
I'd have to
Nancy,
start all over.
I'm gonna start with
we're all
pencil.
going to start all over. It's fine.
Nancy's looks good.
Yeah, Nancy, you got
Hey,
it.
Nancy, you look good.
I don't like it.
No, we're not judging it.
That is so hard. That's a statement. Those are words. It's not a feeling.
You know what I see? The eye closest to us is too small.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know I had that far.
She's got her ear in the front, in the right place. It's way back.
Yes, there's this tendency to want to put the ear up here in the facial. Yeah, you got it. And Marilyn, but you've got the face. Everyone's got the face to the side. No one has the face in the middle of the head. A plus plus. That's a bonus,
Okay.
right? There's maybe a little bit of a
Champagne.
stretching.
It's got champagne.
Yeah, that's about the champagne bottles. There's a little bit of stretching here. Just own it. You know, if your tiny chin and your mouth is way down here, just own it. Just know that you tend to make that a little high. Just squish it up a little bit. Yeah, Marilyn, you got it. Face is on the right side. You got the mouth. Yeah.
Maryland is really pretty.
Your forehead feels a little bit short. I see that. I see that not one of my students tends to make a short forehead. Another student tends to drop this length a little bit long and have a short chin. It's just tendencies. Once you can see that in yourself, then another student tends to draw really dark.
I just got
Oh.
tired. I couldn't raise her forehead any
What
longer.
would that be?
I love working with you all.
Oh, I love working with you too.
Yes, it's amazing what you're doing. It's amazing.
Yes, we love
Embarrassing
we
too.
love you. We just don't like what you're doing.
Yeah, you're right on, Nancy.
Now, my question is, and you don't have to answer now, let me know. Do you want to continue with this or do you want to just do like drawing what do you want? You know, we've got two more classes. Do you just want to draw portraits? I put one up, you draw it, we move on, or just play, or do you want to work on this a little bit more, or you
Like
don't
if
have
we
to answer
start
right now.
off, if we start off working like measuring like this, maybe when we're more alert, like in the very beginning,
Beginning.
it might
Mm, yeah.
be better.
Okay, then we'll do that. And then the
That's
last,
just my thought. I don't know.
Okay.
What does everybody else think?
everyone's
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Okay.
I think that's an important point here. And the rest of me wants to say, can you just put something up and see how we draw it? But
We can do both. We can do both.
I think you should start the more intricate piece that you bring to the beginning, like Michelle remarked. To
Yeah, we're
when-
tired.
But I have to do then because what we do in the past is then we do the whole class is doing this, getting everything just perfect. So I'll set a timer and
Yeah.
we'll do that. We'll start with this, but we'll only do it for like an hour and then we'll play.
Okay.
Okay.
And as far as going on goes, everybody please say a prayer that that I get my iron IV and that it is enough for it to work because
Yeah.
she's really going to cut back on it. She's not giving me a full dose
Oh,
because I'm exhausted. I'm not, like anything that I put my mind to is a chore. Anything, like even finding a dentist, which is something I have to do, is just a chore for me. So just say a prayer for me that she finds the right balance because I have PV and that's what she's concerned about with the iron IV. She's not too thrilled about doing it because she's afraid that it's gonna upset my red blood cells. And then I'm in trouble. So the PV she's got to be
Okay.
really careful of because people can die from it. So
oh,
Yeah. so she's
You don't want that.
yeah. So the iron is gonna is gonna feed it too fast, but the iron pills will take at least 3 to 6 months to a year to work. I can't go
Oh,
that long feeling like this because I can't function.
Right,
I can't think to function. Yeah, so.
Wow.
And if that's all works out, I'm very glad to keep going, but the way I feel now, I've got so much pressure on me for things that I have to do. So. But that's from Maryland, so
Thank you for sharing it. And yes, I will.
thank you.
Pray for you, thank you.
So hopefully I get that IV next week and it's enough to make a difference in how I feel. Because she's really gonna cut it back. First, she said she's only gonna give me 5% of it, and then she said she's only gonna give me 3% of it. So she's really concerned about the PV. Yeah. She's concerned about the PV and I'm concerned about the iron. Would you please make me feel normal?
Is PV the name of a condition?
Yeah, it is. It's a name of an illness and it can turn into cancer and it can, sometimes it's not good to search.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Dr.
sometimes
Google
it-
isn't always right, though.
Sometimes it can shorten my life. No, this is with WebMD.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Google, you don't want to
Sometimes you can-
scroll beyond, like you just read the couple top. Don't do this.
Oh, no, I looked at the whole thing. I looked at the whole thing and then
That
I
will
looked at how
scare
the